Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, however many times you're doing it, however good it feels, and why you're doing it in the first place. I don't care. I'm just glad you're doing it here with me right now. Legal Vices, that's me, and we are here today for one reason: to put the final nail in the coffin of Sarah Boone. The Sarah Boone sentencing will be kicking off in about 12 minutes. At least that's when it's scheduled. We'll see when it actually gets underway, but you're here with me. And before we get going, I just want you all to sit back and enjoy for one last time The Suitcase of Love.
Oh, Sarah Boone had a plan, a twisted little game. Joy never saw it coming, but she knew just the same. In the darkness of the night, with a smile so sly, she whispered, "Let's play a game," and he didn't ask why. She zipped him up tight in the suitcase of love. No air, no light, just the stars above. He thought it was a joke, just a lover's embrace. Sarah, he cried in that tight, dark space. Jorge was laughing, but his breath was thin. The walls were closing in as the fear kicked in. He called out a name, but it echoed in vain, while Sarah watched coldly, not a hint of pain. She zipped him up tight in the suitcase of love. No air, no light, just the stars above. He thought it was a joke, just a lover's embrace. Sarah, he cried in that tight, dark space. Love's a game of risk, a dangerous thing. In the suitcase of love, it's a deadly flame. Sarah's smile fades as the silence grows. In the suitcase of love, nobody knows. Morning came with silence, no breath to be found. Sarah unzipped the case, Jorge's last sound. She stared at the scene. What had she done? In the suitcase of love, there's no place to run. She zipped him up tight in the suitcase of love. No air, no light, just the stars above. He thought it was a joke, just a lover's embrace. Sarah, he cried in that tight, dark space. Love's a game of risk, a dangerous thing. In the suitcase of love, it's a deadly flame. Sarah's smile fades as the silence grows. In the suitcase of love, nobody knows. Love's a game of risk, a dangerous thing. In the suitcase of love, it's a deadly fling. Sarah's smile fades as the silence grows. In the suitcase of love, nobody knows.
The last time we'll hear that song, we might have a best of song day. One of these, have like a best of song competition, or just a reflection one day for something to do. But that, until then, that might be the very last time we hear that song. It's great to have you here. Court shall be starting in about 7 minutes. So let's bring up law and crime here, just so we don't miss nothing or miss anything, as people speak properly. Right, let's put this down here where it goes. There. So now we can see what's going on. How are we all doing? Clearly, people are interested in finding out how this turns out. We've just got started, and there's already 400 people here-ish. Across the platforms, we have 427 people total. That includes Rumble, YouTube, and Twitter. But right here over here on YouTube, we've got 383 people. And I just want to give you a good morning. For me, it is 3:23 a.m. I got home from work about 7. Struggled real hard to get to sleep instantly. Got to sleep about 9. So yeah, I tossed and turned for about an hour. So I got about five and a half hours sleep total. So we're doing good. And depending on how long this takes, I just might take another little nap before I go to work. But not only is that the last time that we will be hearing this suitcase of love, it's also the last time that we will be consuming the official drink, the official cocktail of the Sarah Boone murder trial. The Boone Tang suitcase. It's the last appearance of the Boone Tang suitcase, which is just vodka and tang. But because I am working in 5.5 hours, there's just a little, just enough vodka to taste in there. So it'll be out of my system by the time it is time to go to work. But today is the last day of the Boone Tang cocktail. Will there be bingo? No, unfortunately, no bingo for this because I forgot about it. I don't know. we're just going to sit back and enjoy this all together. Let's see. What do we got to do while we sit back and wait for this to get underway? I guess I should mention that today is day 68 of the emotional support potato pig dog cam. Will we keep the streak alive? Will we keep this? If you need the emotional support potato pig dogs on camera, it's the super chats, the gifted memberships, the purchased memberships, the Zelle, Venmo, Cash App. That's how we get there. We get to the Hundy mark. We unlock the emotional support potato pig dogs for the 69th. Are we going to get to 69 today, people? Come on. We know you all want 69. Let's see if we get to 69. Do we get a 69 together today, people? It's up to you. It's up to you. Do we get the emotional support potato pig dogs? If not, I'm cool with it. But are we going to keep the streak alive? Let's find out. And as always, with the super chats and other things that come in, assuming or if they do come in, we will read them at normal pauses, normal breaks, and quiet points in the proceedings. So we try not to talk over the court too much, only when necessary. Legal minds, legal vices. I'm not legal mindset. I'm still dreaming. Legal vices. Do you think they are going to take? Oh, good Lord. Well, that was easy. Do you think they're going to take on Sarah Boone motion for a new trial? It's already been filed. We might have to do a reading of the motion for a new trial. Or is it? I'm not sure what the official name of the motion is, but it's the motion to set aside the verdict or motion for new trials. It's already been filed. It's really bad. I forgot to read it. We should read that. We'll read that on one of these days. Thanks for reminding me of that, but not today. They're not. Today is just to tell her how long she is going to be sitting in the hoosgal, which could be a very, very long time. But ladies and germs, I really don't know what to say. Nathan C. Remember for 26 months is 26 months with all the shenanigans. Here's the next 26. No Boone Tang here, unfortunately. I have Tang with a tiny little bit of Boone in it. but been there, done that. Dropping the $6.90, the 69 cents, the $6.90 for the 69, and just wiping us off the table. Just getting rid of the day 66 stuff here real quick, right out of the gate. Tease, dropping the Hundy out of the gate. I got nothing but humility and gratitude in my heart for that.
Gotcha, bitch.
That was the wrong button. It's not even 3:30 yet. You have to forgive me. This is the right button. Woo! Tease T. Apologize for the incorrect button there. But tease T. Dumping the doggo cam into day 69. Okay, everybody, that is it. Day 68 is off the table. We are all 69 together. Now, well, I guess that's the point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the 69th day in a row, it is time. It's time to give the command that we've all been waiting for. It is the command to
release the hose.
Let's bring up Strawberry. Strawberry's here. Strawberry is licking her bed. Yoda is over here. Yoda's just over there being Yoda. Yoda will have surgery later this week to fix the burst blood vessel in his ear. But let's give the piggy some snacks. There you go, Woo, Yoda. There you go. Oh, Yoda caught the snack in midair. All right. Wow. Yoda was looking for some snacks. Caught that. He just snagged that right out of the air. He doesn't do that often. Jeremiah Jordan, member for 19 months. So a little off topic. Will you ever cover presidential pardons at some point? Yeah, there was a presidential pardon, wasn't there? Sean from Potentially Criminal did a very good show with Kurt from Uncivil Law yesterday. That's a great one to watch. If we get some time, if there's some interest, we can talk about the rather controversial pardoning of his son, Hunter Biden. Sure, why not? We can do that at some point. Especially if Trump has the guts or inclination to pardon the J6ers. That'd be interesting. Digger 420, take my money. I need emotional support potato pig doggers. Digger, you got it right here. Or I guess for you guys it's over here, but for me it's over here. You got it. The emotional support potato pig dog. Strawberry and Yoda are here to help you through this trying time. All right.
Leaving her boyfriend to suffocate.
Let's move this to the beginning of what's going on here. Boom. Well, that's wait. Sarah Boone sentencing. Wait, come on. Sarah Boone sentencing. That's me. Sarah Boone sentencing. Wait, come on, Sarah. That's the court TV cam. There is the the law and crime cam. We're seeing who picks up the courtroom first. Neither one of them have started the cam yet. I'm watching them both. That's court TV. I'm also watching law and crime. Law and crime is never on time. Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see here. So I got them both going. We will see which one kicks off first. Will it be law and crime? Will it be court TV? Whichever one kicks off first, we'll watch. And Krista Kira says, watching from work, glad to see this all the way through. And this is the end. She could be facing she's facing at least 22 years. 22 years to life is what she's looking at after being convicted of second-degree murder of her husband, George Torres. Well, that raises the question. What do you think? What do you think the sentence is going to be? There's 511 of you here, 297 likes over here on YouTube. And so that means like 200 of you haven't done your job and hit that like button. Get out there and smash that like button. You guys over there on Rumble and Twitter too. Make sure you guys hit the the thumbs up or the whatever it is on whatever platform you're at. Just make sure you hit that and get the interest out there. The like and subscribe poll is up. Come and take the like and subscribe poll and tell us what you think. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do, because we're gearing up to be covering the Laura Owens v. Clayton Echard drama. We're going to catch up on that beginning later this week. Was she pregnant with twins from a BJ? Doubt it. But there's lots of litigation. There's some judgments in there. There's some motions. There's appeals. There's bar complaints against lawyers. We're going to cover all that. Then we're going to get over into the Judge Craig DeThomas's situation / scandals. with his handling of the What the Hales case, his handling of the Gosney case in Florida, a judge gone rogue, a judge who thinks the rules don't apply to him. We're going to be talking about that going into next week. Megan Fox Ryder will be joining me for that, and I'll be joining her for some of it. We're going to be talking Maya Kowalski, the Take Care of Maya, torture of a child by the Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in Florida. There's a lot of movement there. We got a lot coming up. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button, and then, and only then, take our like and subscribe poll. Although all right, look, 200 of you have cheated right out of the gate. Shame on you people. There's 506 like votes, and there's only 336 likes. Come on, people. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. Costs you nothing. You took the poll. Hit the like button. For the last time, what will be the sentence? Your choices are 22 to 30 years, 30 to 40 years, 40 to 50 years, and life. Those are your choices. What do you think she's going to get? Is she going to get 22 to 30 years, 30 to 40 years, 40 to 50 years, or life? Let your opinion be known. You're waiting for Brian. Tug Sim says waiting for Brian Koberger. Brian Koberger is still miles away. Courtney Clenny, the OnlyFans murder, where she killed her boyfriend, Mr. Obumseli, by circumstances that her side of the story is rather unbelievable. They haven't even set a trial date in that yet, so that's going to be a million years from now. The YNW Melly retrial, that's scheduled for September of next year. We are just ages away from really the next major trial. But we'll keep our eyes peeled on things. Refreshing Court TV, refreshing Law and Crime. All right, of course, because I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning for this. They're not starting on time. They're not starting on time just because that would be the nice thing to do. But like I said, as soon as they go live, oh, what was that? What was that? Court TV had some motion. They had some movement. All right, they've taken off the upcoming, and they are now on the on the waiting pattern. Law and Crime still says waiting for. All right, I think we have some pre-movement here. As soon as we get through these last few things, we'll talk more about Sarah Boone and where we stand right now. What do we got over here? Kiernoth says, I miss when Black Friday was people camping outside stores and brawls leading to people body slamming each other for cheap TVs. I just saw him. I love horror movies. This is sort of the campy horror movie. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. I saw it on Netflix. Great, stupid, just time wasting comedy thriller, that was sort of the premise. The town of Plymouth Rock, their Black Friday gets out of control. People get stabbed. People you fall through glass windows, get their throat cut. People get trampled, etc., etc. And then one of the townsfolk comes back for revenge on the people that didn't care about their fellow humans on Thanksgiving Day. It was a dumb show, but yeah, I missed the videos. At least the old, especially pre I guess you'll say normalization of internet shopping. Even, but you still get some good brawls after internet shopping, but pre-internet shopping, that was just the wild damn west. I missed that because you had lots of good videos to watch it from that. I'm with you, Kiernoth. We need more post-Thanksgiving Day violence. Cheesehead lost on Bourbon Street. Member for 27 months. Dang, OG. I need to see how long we've had memberships because that's just about as OG as you get, Cheese. Family finally out of my house. I know that feeling. Once again, I can enjoy my emotional support, Legal Vices. Thank you, Cheesehead. Don Hamilton with a $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. What was that, Don? That was a hippo just racing to get in here. Hey, I'm losing weight. I'm not that much of a hippo. Well, I'm a moodang. I'm a moodang, a little mini baby hippo from Thailand. That's me. The moodang. Adam Wathen, what's up? Jeff, what do you think the sentence will be? I'm thinking life. I want life, but of course, life, I don't know what life means. Life is not necessarily life. She'll get life. If she gets life, she'll get life with the possibility of parole. But what that life will mean, I'm not sure. Because I don't know. We'll have to see. But I would like her to get life. I'm thinking somewhere around 40 years. Just my gut. I have no basis for that whatsoever. Just my gut is saying somewhere around 40 years. But and she, it might be life with the possibility of parole in 40, but I mean, she's not going to get life without parole. I just can't. We'll find out, but I'm thinking around 40 years total, whether it's 40 years or whether it's life eligible for parole in 40. I think she'll do about 40 years initially. But let's find out. Brian Miller, member for 16 months. We have the Christopher Schur trial in March. He was the Grand Rapids officer that sculled Patrick Loyola in 2022. I'm not familiar with this at all. Oh, give me something to look forward to maybe in March. Jacob's Proud Madre. Woo, what's up, 27 months? What's up, Jacob's Proud Madre? You are an amazing woman. Thank you for being here. 27 months. I've loved every minute of it. I've loved every minute of having you here too. So I guess that makes us even. And Duncan, Idaho, up there in the 20s himself, 21 months. 21 months. Appreciate you and this thing you do for us, Jeff. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate you being here. And finally, Alan with 21 months. You and Duncan are twinsies. I don't know what YouTube is up to. I was a member, and then Friday and Saturday, I wasn't a member, and now back to being a member. Yep, that's YouTube. And also, that's why I say every time, if you have subscribed, if you are subscribed, just double check to make sure you are still subscribed, because YouTube does stuff. Thank you, all of you, for everything that we've got there so far. We are just well into emotional support potato pig dog cam for day 69, which you are observing now. And let's see. Right, I'm still just double checking. We've got a little bit of action. As you can see down there in the bottom right hand corner, Court TV is putting up their, what do they got here? Member 4 months level, armchair attorney message. Hey everyone, popcorn. We've all been waiting for this day. I have no idea what to expect. Thank you for hosting this for us, Court TV. All right. Though we have movement over on sentencing at Law and Crime. So let's bring up the Law and Crime feed. They've actually turned us on to the Great Seal of the state of Florida. Wait, we've lost our dog. There we go. We got both dogs in this one here. Jennifer, member for 26 months, says YouTube is a hat. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Or the end of a bell. Either way, we'll take them both. Riptard says, yeah, she's getting 30 years. I think 20, definitely not getting 40 like Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin deserves her sentence more than she does. To be honest, I think they're angry because she refused. We'll let her out. Dude, you are not going to do that. I will put you out. It is 3:30 a.m., 3:41 in the morning. It will get us, in trouble with the neighbors if you're barking your ass off at 3:30 in the morning, so stop. She's going to regret not taking that plea deal. I'm pretty sure she already regrets not taking the plea deal. She's got to. There is no way she can go, oh, yeah, that was great that I didn't take that sweet plea deal that would have got me out in 7 years. She would have got 12 years, like 85% of 15. That was her offer. 15 years, 85% of that, 12. She's already been in jail for 4 years. She would be out in 7 years. No, she excels at everything she does. She's the best at everything. She doesn't need to take no plea deal. We don't need no stinking plea deal. She can just handle it. She excels at everything. She's better than everybody else.
We are federales, the mountain police.
If you're the police, where are your badges?
Badges? We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
I don't have to show you any stinking plea deals. Yeah, she regrets it. There's no way. She's like, yeah, that was a great decision. And she has absolutely no one to blame for that, because her lawyer, the one that finally got her through the trial, he initially had just agreed to talk to her and take on her case and try to get her a good deal. They had their first argument, their first shouting match, before she was even retaining him as her lawyer. And he said, all right, I'm out. I just came to get you the deal. You want to yell at me? You don't want to take the deal? You don't want me to help you get a good deal? I'm out. And then she came crawling back a few days later and reestablished contact, and he again decided to take her case. There was rumors. Well, it wasn't even really rumors. It was reported in her daily behavior logs that just before trial, they got into another shouting match, which we can only presume was his final last-ditch attempt at getting her to take a plea deal, which was refused. So it's been a while. It's been a while since she's had this opportunity for a plea deal. She turned it down multiple times. It's on her. It is totally on her. What was she convicted of? She was convicted of second-degree murder for locking her boyfriend up in a suitcase, walking away after videotaping him and making fun of him, and letting him die. Oh, I heard a beep. There was a beep. The camera's a jiggling. We might be ready for some courtroom action. I don't like my attorney. Oh, I need an attorney. Yeah, I need 9 attorneys. Again, a couple of them were conflicted out, but the good portion of them were just, I can't deal with her. Penn and Teller line from Invisible Thread. Feds show badges. Penn says, we sell those. I thought you swore then, Jeff. Yeah, no, that was swearing. It's too early to swear. It's 3:45 in the morning. We need to get through look, my ice is melting, Law and Crime. Or I'm not sure if Law and Crime or Court TV is handling the pool feed for this, but whichever one, they need to hurry up. My ice is melting. My poor doggo cam is way overexposed. Let's bring down the brightness a little bit there. We're literally in the same room. They're like 2 yards, 2 meters away from me, and it looks like they're on a different planet with the brightness there. But I've got the soothing studio lights to give me the mellow glow to make me look better than I actually am. Beck says, whoop, I made it. Nothing dramatic happened, so I'm here. Thanks for covering this, Jeff. Nothing dramatic has happened. Never too early to swear. Of course not, Stacy. But yeah, nothing dramatic has happened other than the camera has turned on and we are able to see the seal of it's the Great Seal of the state of Florida. And we heard a beep a second ago. Meatballs, Legal Vices ASMR. What did you say, Riptard? Are you being controversial? Be fair to Sarah Boone. Her boyfriend didn't look like a man. Not saying that what he did was wrong, but I can't hate Sarah Boone as much as the public can. I don't know how. What? I don't know how. What? Oh, Riptard, come on. I mean, he didn't look like a man. He looked like a man to me, just a small one. He was just a smaller man. That's all. She murdered him. She murdered him. Sebastian Mueller with a membership of 20 months. Hopefully she gets away for good and don't get to have another chance. Thanks for covering this. You know, see, that's the thing. You can guarantee that if not already, she's going to have some weird, prison boyfriend. She's going to have some dude simping on her, sending her love letters, wanting to get married and all that weird stuff. And even if she gets out when she's like 80, there's going to be some weirdo that's going to go, I can fix her. So I hope she doesn't get another chance at life. She's going to get another chance. Oh, there we go. Sarah Boone is in court. Bang! Let's get that up there. Right. We are underway. CRC duster, but she is smarter than everyone else. Yep. And that sometimes it pays to be dumb and just follow other people's instructions. Palmyra Productions. Same here, Alan. Member for 20 months. Been unsubscribed and billing inconsistent. Now I'm back to 5 months. Boo. Well, we know you've been here. We know you've been here forever, Palmyra Productions. So you're in my heart. You've been in my heart for over 20 months, not just 5. Thank you for being here, everybody. All right. Oh, there. Sarah, this is a cell phone. This is the last one of these you're ever going to see for a long time. By the time you get out, cell phones will have gone the way of the dinosaurs. There'll be cornea implants. They'll be just projecting images straight from your brain, reception direct into your ears. This is the last. Enjoy the YouTube videos of you, Sarah, because this is the last time you're gonna see a phone. Special K, Legal Vices. Have you been watching Leilani's sentencing? Yes, we watched it last Friday. She has dudes putting money on her books, men from all over the U.S. Yeah, we watched the sentencing last Friday. We didn't watch all of the statements. We're gonna watch those at some other day when there's a little bit of free time. But yeah, the Leilani Simon sentencing. Oh, they mentioned she has dudes putting money on her books. Well, she'll thank you after 40 years. She's eligible for parole in 40 years. People, there's always somebody out there. Baby Gator, bus stop rando and stuff. Member for 2 months. What's a Baby Gator? Thank you for being here. Watching from work. Shh, don't tell my boss. Been a lurker for over a year. Well, we're glad you're watching from work. As Sarah Boone said, shh. Oh shoot! Sorry, spoil. Now we know what the sentence is. We watched the sentencing. We only watched her brother Paul's statement. We'll watch the others when there's time. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all. There's people out there simping for Leilani, 23-year-old Chief Wiggum lookalike. Why wouldn't you want to simp for her? A Chief Wiggum lookalike that murdered her 20-month-old baby. Yeah. I'll put money on your books. Hey guys, we currently have 817 people watching across the internets. 688 here on 690 here on YouTube as we get underway. 454 likes. 500 of you. Would you just hit the like button? We should be to 600 likes like that. Let's get up to 600 likes. Come on. It costs nothing. We got nothing to do. We're just waiting around here. Yes, Tanny. Leilani Simon looks like Chief Wiggum. We decided that. Hit that like button. It costs you nothing. It gets the algorithm going. It gets YouTube going. Oh my gosh, there's 600 people liking something right now. Let's put it on the front page. And it gets us out there. Sarah is the new Gypsy Rose. Well, Gypsy Rose got out and people liked her for about 5 minutes. Then Gypsy Rose could not get out of her. Gypsy Rose Lee, different person. Then Gypsy Rose could not stay out of her own way. And now everybody hates her. But now she wants to be liked again. She is just a disturbed young woman. I'm trying to enlarge my screen to see. I can't see what they're watching. They're reading something. I wonder if they're reading her prepared statement, or if they're reading somebody's letter. It looks like they're reading a letter of some sort because there's like one paragraph and a couple of lines under it. But good on him for reading it in portrait mode, in landscape mode, not portrait mode. And he needs to work on some wrist exercises. Those are some thin wrists. All right, what have I done? Where's my there we go. My Ensmollen button was hiding behind my camera. Flux says that's a crazy murdering bitch. Lol. Who? Leilani? Sarah? All the above? Gypsy? There's so many to choose from. All right. Well, wonder what Wonder what we're waiting for. It looks like we might just be waiting for the judge. Because we're all just sitting here. Is this live? Great success. This is live. We are as live as it's possible to be. Will she smuggle her new boyfriend into prison in her luggage? Well, she doesn't get luggage in prison. The only thing she could do would be just smuggle them in one of her various prison pockets. Granted, she has more options in that regard than men do. She's got like 100% more options than men do in the prison pocket department. There's something for you to think about. There's a thought you never wanted in your brain, right? Oh, yeah. Shh has a whole new meaning now. Right, wife duck. Bet's in the judge watching this stream right now. Yo, judge, hurry up. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning for you. Come on, hurry up. Thanks, Jeff. Hate it. Yeah. Crusty eyes. That's a Leilani Simon trial reference. If you remember that, there was some text messages that can never be unheard or unseen again. I wonder if Sarah and Ashley Benfield, where do we go? Will end up spending life in prison together. Where is she in prison? Oh, the defense lawyer is heading on over to the opposing counsel table. Last call, domestic flight from. Just got a message telling me that there's tickets from Orlando to Las Vegas. Well, I'm on the other side of the earth. Thank you very much for randomtrip.com. I heard a cough. I hope that cough I heard was from Law and Crime's feed and not just a random cough in my apartment. That would be frightening. I don't know why I thought Jeff was going to sing Krusty the Snowman. Oh dear. Because I didn't think of it. Otherwise, I would have sung that. Pin King 584 the $2. Spread those cheeks and cough, sir. I just had a really weird vision of her smuggling someone into prison and getting caught on the spread and cough phase of getting checked back into prison. That's really we are standing. Are we standing for the judge? See, this is the good thing. She is now convicted of second-degree murder. All questions of whether or not she gets to wear street clothes, whether or not she doesn't have to wear handcuffs in court, that's all off the table. You wear your normal clothes. You don't wear your handcuffs. You normally don't wear the shackles on your feet. You get to look like an ordinary person before you're found guilty. They want to preserve the presumption of innocence as long as possible. But she is now convicted of second-degree murder, so she sits there shackled, handcuffed, and in her prison garb. And I've just realized that I've been squinting because I haven't put on my streaming goggles. There we go. Hey, wow. I can see clearly now. The glasses are on. Because I had these are like my progressive like trifocally things, but everything is moved closer. This is made from my office desk and office life, so I had to get a prescription just for streaming so that everything right here in front of me is clear. Are those handcuffs pink? Yes, they are pink handcuffs. Now, if they were pink and fuzzy, that might be she's all strapped up too. She's chained around the way. She ain't just handcuffed. There we go. So when she goes for her lawyer, she's just going to be able to go. Argh! If only they had thought about that with Taylor Shabusiness, she might not have lost one of her lawyers. She's going to steal her lawyer's snacks. Yeah, no snacks. She has no snacks for this. She's going to be hungry. Okay, I just had to make sure the noises that I was hearing were from inside the courtroom, because whatever that little clangy thing was, it did sound like it was coming from over there in my house. That's why I looked to make sure that both dogs were here. And I'm like, all right, let's find this out. So there's some low audio in court. I can stop panicking. That's kind of odd. Fallen hero, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's giving us a $3 super sticker, which is Ashina Ibu saying, how's it going? It's going great. I had a decent amount of sleep before 3 a.m. wake up call. And I was hoping to get some more sleep before going back to work, but hey, we're just gonna see how it goes. Sarah's gonna get life, no parole, you think? I think she'll get parole. Just when is it? Yeah. I'm hoping life with parole after like 40 years. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Hey everyone, hey Noel Perry, what's up? We're just waiting for court. Everybody's sitting around here waiting for court to happen. What the heck are those papers she's shuffling? Statements. She's probably got something to gripe to the judge about that the judge isn't going to give two shits about. Well, I don't know. And it could just be to, her emotional support papers to make her feel good, to make her feel like, she's doing something important. She could be preparing her next long missive to the court. I'm going to miss reading those. I'm going to miss the Sarah Boone letters, the 54 pages of handwritten letters and stuff like that. There's a lot that we're going to miss from this, I think. We're going to miss the crazy. missing the crazy. Gosh, what could we possibly be waiting for? Her last chance to speak to the manager. That is true. This is, in fact, her last chance to speak to the manager. JLZ trade law nerd, new member. Wow, I didn't know there were any trade law nerds in the universe. I'm as close, probably as close as I can come to being a trade law. It's more transactional. And for those of you that don't know, that is, I know that those of you do know are probably sick and tired of me saying it, but first of all, welcome to JLZ Trade Law, the newest member of the Clean and Sober crew. Hope you stick around for a while, JLZ. For those of you that don't know, about 70% of what I do is maritime law. I specialize in maritime law, shipping law, ship collisions, crew injuries, cargo damage, ship building contracts, ship purchase contracts, escrow, financing, things like that. Anything related to shipping law is that's about 70% of what I do. The other 30% is just straight up standard business and transactional stuff. So the criminal trials, they give me a chance to remember the good old days of pre-maritime law activities. I bet those papers are complaints about the prison conditions. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. But thank you so much for signing up to be a new member. Oh, there's another cough. Ship happens. Yes, it does. Maritime law. And just stand by. For those of you that are the regulars here, we normally do a Monday maritime law thing that we call Maritime Monday. That's going to be back on the menu 3 weeks from today. We'll be back to maritime law in its usual form. So stay tuned for that. All right, we're just kicking it here. Red Lobster bankruptcy. I hope it's a reorganization. The last time I went to Red Lobster was, do we deal with cruise passengers? Yes, Rose Flock. Oh, Flack, sorry. Yes, dang. Maybe I need to go back to my own glasses. I said Rose Flock. It's Ross Flack. Yes, Ross Flack. I do deal with cruise passengers. It's been a while since we've had. No, it isn't. We're actually dealing with in a big case right now involving a collision on the River Danube a few years ago that killed 27 Koreans. Yeah, we've been working on that case for years. Lancelot 652, what's up? If you're hearing random coughing and chains in your house, either get a broomstick or you need the Christian lady from the last trial. Yeah, we need the good old Christian lady from the Leilani Simon trial that said she used a candle and a Bible to conjure the ghost of the murdered toddler who told her that mommy hit me and told and she said he was a 15-month-old ghost, although he was 20 months when he died, so I haven't figured that out. Maybe he'd been a ghost for 15 months. I don't know. But yeah, told her that mommy hit me really hard in the head, and the ghost told her where to find the body. Conveniently, the ghost told her to find the body where everybody was searching. So yeah, coughing and chains. I'm thinking Jacob Marley kind of coming down the hallway, telling me that my life has been a sham and nobody loves me, and I'm gonna have to go through their time frame to show that nobody cares if I'm here or not. But luckily, it's not the ghost of Jacob Marley. Hey, everybody, Sarah's looking at you. Sarah's looking at each and every one of the 913 people that are watching across the tubes and the Twitter and the Rumble. 27 killed in a ship collision. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, it was a collision on the River Danube. One sightseeing cruise ship hit another and didn't go so well for one of them. We Flux. He needs the Frankenstein dude who does witchcraft too. Oh, what's his face from our old retro trial? Donald Hartung. Yes, Donald Hartung was the Frankenstein dude. That was our witchcraft triple murder trial. The old dude that was accused of offing his family in a ritualistic witchcraft manner. Come a going. That's how I'm pronouncing it anyway. Come a going is a new member of the. Sorry, JLZ Trade Law Nerd. You are no longer the newest member of the Clean and Sober Crew. That goes to Kamagoan. That's how I'm going to pronounce that. If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, you're going to have to correct me. New member of the Clean and Sober Crew. Thank you thank you very much. Isn't the Danube in Europe? Lol. Yes, it is. As a matter of fact. Great success. People travel to other countries sometimes. Don't let it out of the bag. People do travel to Europe. So yes, it was in Hungary. It was in the Hungary portion of the Danube River. Oh, look at my. Oh, there we are. It's Kome Gohan. It's okay. All right. Japanese pronunciation. Kome Gohan. Good. All right. We're with you. Come and going sounds great. It sounds better to me. Hey, I don't know if I'm coming or going. It's coming and going. Kome Gohan. Good. Yeah. Don't tell Yanks about passports. Here we are. Even the cameraman's bored, just scanning around. Oh, that's the family of George there. Kome Gohan says, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you'll stick around. We love having new people here. I feel like Jeff looking right at me and speaking to me when he's reading chat, because I am, Ben. I'm looking right at you and I'm speaking right at you. How you doing, brother? Been there, done that. It's an old homie of mine, or IRL friends, as you say it now. I've met a lot of psychos who thought they were psychic. Yeah. Sarah has oversized suitcases and has her men dress in clothes from the suitcase. Wow, this is well thought out, Robert Lawrence. Sarah has oversized suitcases and has her men dress in the clothes from the suitcases before she proceeds to fold them up and put them back in the suitcases. Well, that was a well thought out text there. Thank you very much. Jeff, do you have a teleprompter? I do have a teleprompter. Hey, Burning Sensations, haven't you been here for the teleprompter saga? That no, please come on. You can't be barking. Weren't you here? We had Steph, the altar nerd, on, and she was like doing this, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she said, I'm cleaning off my teleprompter. And I said, you're what? And then she showed me this thing, and I had bought one by the end of the. I literally bought one immediately while she was on stream. So yeah, we do. We got our little teleprompter thing going here. It's like right here. That's the boundary of the teleprompter. And then I've got my other monitors out here on the side. Oh, come on. All right, we are approaching 40 minutes late. Canonical Heat, welcome back, Canonical Heat. Good to see you back here. It was great having you around last week. We had a fun weekend with Canonical Heat, just dropping the heat. A little late, but so happy to see Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog's already deployed. Well, they're here just waiting for you. Don't worry, you're not late. Doc, I'm gonna have to put you outside. I really am. Come here, buddy. Come here. Doggy, come here. No, you're barking because you want attention. I'm calling you over here. Look, I'm calling you over here to give you pets and loves and attention, but you're not coming. Doggy, come here. Doggy. Pay attention to me. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. I don't want you to. Dang it. All right, that's it. Come here. You can't be doing that, buddy. You can't. See, I give her one snack and she thinks she needs more. But it's 4:10 in the morning. You can't be doing that. Come here. It's like having a child. They just know, like, you go, come here, Billy, come here, Billy, come here, and then they come. They know when she knows when you're done. KR is not guilty verdict. Formerly Darla the Human says, do you think she's got the judge in a suitcase in the back? She may very well. We don't. The judge is MIA, as far as I know. Can you do me the favor and just not bark, you little douche? Here. All right. That's live with a dog. Okay, Canonical Heat again. Look, Doc, you make me laugh. Canonical Heat. I'm not at work due to bronchitis. Ugh. All credit blame to me. Catching alive is due to bronchitis. Well, I would never say, I'm so happy to hear that you have bronchitis, but I'm glad you're here live. Oh, let's get it on, baby boys and girls. It is that time. Feel better soon, Canonical Heat. Please. All right, we are rising for the judge on day 69 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dogs. Now we'll turn the camera to, hello, Michael Kranick. How you doing, buddy? We haven't seen you in a bit. I'm going to miss Judge Kranick. Judge Kranick has been a very, very, very good judge. He's one of my favorite trial judges we've seen so far. Very fair. He tries to find some middle ground between the defense and the prosecution when there's a standoff, when there's a controversy, when there's a conflict. He tries to find the middle ground, and I think he's done an amazing job from the get-go, from beginning to end. And he also knows when to shut it down. He knows when it's time, when there's enough that's been done, and it's time just to tell the lawyer to shut up, stop doing what he's doing, and he gets a little bit agitated too, so we like that. The J Hatch judge was amazing. Yeah, he had the tuft of justice going for him. He had a little hair island, but Judge Kranick looks like he's on the way to developing his own tuft of justice there. All right, audio. Ooh, we have hot audio.
State of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603, state.
Chief Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Defendants.
William J. for the state.
Defense.
James Owens for Sarah Boone.
Let's go,
Ms.
Mr.
Boone is
Owens.
seated at counsel's table.
Don't
Ma'am,
say
if you could
anything
please
dumb.
raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
Ma'am, can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for us?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-7-7.
We are here for a sentencing. The jury returned a verdict on October 25, finding you, Ms. Boone, guilty of murder in the second degree. We are running a little bit late this afternoon. I apologize for that.
We hadn't noticed.
I was in court all morning and took the opportunity to review all of your submittals from earlier this morning, Mr. Owens, including the victim or the character statements, the psychological evaluation by Dr. Harper, the motion for downward departure, the motion for new trial, and the state's response to same. Before we proceed with any sentencing in this matter, the court needs to address the defendant's motion for new trial.
Man, we need to read that.
The defendant's motion for new trial. Anything in addition you'd like to argue at this time, Mr. Owens, over and above what is contained in your motion, sir?
No, sir.
State.
No, sir.
All right. After reviewing the motion and the state's response to same, the defendant's motion for a new trial is denied.
Well, surprise there.
Court's review of the record, the court's participation in the trial, and the review of all the evidence, and the court's prior findings and rulings.
I don't even know it's in the motion, and I wasn't
With
surprised.
that, I believe that we're prepared to
Denied.
proceed with sentencing at this time. The court has reviewed the pre-sentencing investigation prepared by the Department of Corrections. Are there any housekeeping matters that we need to address, Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore, before we proceed?
Not from the state.
Are there any housekeeping
I
matters?
still think
from
it's
your side
great
of the
his name's
ledger, sir, that we need to
Cacciatore. It makes me
address, Mr.
hungry.
Owens?
Judge, I do have 4 lay witnesses that are going to testify. We've got Dr. Harper here to testify. Of course, my friend-
4 lay witnesses and Dr. Harper.
4 lay witnesses wants to appear by Zoom. She lives up in Minnesota. I don't know if that's allowed.
We don't have an objection to that. One of our witnesses will be providing an impact statement, would also like to appear on the court's virtual link as well.
Okay, so stipulated. If you need it, just let Anita know, and I could have her email it to you right now, the link.
We do have the link. She's waiting to get on, I guess.
Who might it be, sir? Several people.
It should be Lana Albert.
She is here, sir. She's in the, she's viewing, her camera's off and she's, microphone is muted, but she's in the lobby.
Okay.
All right, with that, state, you may proceed.
Your Honor,
Let's get it on.
We would like to take an impact statement from, I believe, Anna Torres, which you will be appearing virtually.
I see several guests, but I do not see a Anna Torres in the virtual lobby, sir.
Uh-oh.
Well, I think while maybe she's having some issue logging on, we have also in-person witnesses.
We can proceed with those first, sir.
Krista. Krista Crudios has just dropped $10 on Cash
Please.
App. Thank you so much, Krista. Appreciate that. That's so nice of you.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
Thank you, Krista.
Okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead.
I just want to tell Sarah Boone that I don't hate her for what she did.
I do.
And I always remember that evening when that lady came into my door and she knocked at the door. And she asked for my name. I said, I tell her my name. And then she said, can I come in? I said, okay, yes. And she told me to sit down. I never think that that was gonna be my son. And then she said my son was dead. Since that day, I can't sleep. It's hard for me to remember that moment. My son is not here no more. She don't only kill my son, she killed a father, a brother, an uncle. It's been hard. And my family, because all the brothers, they will always work together. But now it's like something real. Love is missing. Sometimes when I look out the window, I'm waiting for him to come and say, Mom, I love you. She was always there. She come and call me. I miss that mommy. The last time that I talked to him was at 12 o'clock in January, New Year. He came to my bed and said, Mom. He woke me up and I said, Mom, I love you. Happy New Year. Since that day, I don't see him no more. He was my son. I love him. And I miss him a lot. My family miss him a lot too. But I don't hear her. But you know what? I was blessed. She ain't gonna be blessed like me because I have my son. I raise him. I have his children, my granddaughter, my grandson, and she don't gonna be able to have that. And I did. I raised him. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good son. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. State anything further from this witness?
Wow.
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, sir.
That was a powerful statement. Whew.
You may call your next victim impact statement.
Victoria Torres.
I do.
Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Victoria Torres. My name is Victoria Torres. George is my brother. Unfortunately, my family has experienced two horrifying tragedies. I just want to make it clear that George deserves justice. As far as my other brother and Sarah deserve to rot in jail.
A little different take than the mom had.
Sarah has caused a lifetime of pain, a lifetime of horrible images, a lifetime of hearing my brother George plead for his life. This is just this moment for all of you. For me and my family, it's forever. Such a simple thing as using a suitcase is It's so triggering. I try not to close it all the way. I leave at least like 2 or 3 inches for the zipper. And it might sound crazy, but it just helps me. She really has flipped my family's life upside down. And I just hope that we can truly get justice for my brother. And I just want to tell the team thank you so much for everything they did. Thank you.
Thank you. State anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense? Thank you.
Wow. See, that's something I hadn't thought about. God, how does a family feel every time they pick up a suitcase?
Miss Anna Torres has been able to make it online.
Is grandma taking the son? No, that wasn't their son. The son was with her previous husband.
In the lobby, sir. I have lots of guests. HHSA, Mr. Beck, Lana Albert, Jason Gunn.
Maybe she's one of the guests in the lobby, just didn't put her name in.
Your Honor, is there a cap to the link as to the number of individuals?
Not to my knowledge.
Could we just have just a moment?
Yes.
All right, they've got to find Anna Torres there in the Zoom lobby, find out where she's at. But man, that's 2 different takes. She's like, yeah, you know. Mom's is like, hey, I don't want to hate you, don't want to be filled with hate and rage my entire life. So, but you know, you took away our family member. Victoria, I'm guessing, is the sister, just going, hey, hope she rots in jail. But again, that's something I hadn't even thought about. God, can you imagine the family every time they have to look at a piece of luggage, they just hear shh and think of their brother, son, whatever, being beaten with a baseball bat inside the suitcase, possibly being pushed downstairs. God, I hadn't even thought of that. That's pretty traumatic. I mean, God, I can't lie. Jeez. What did I miss? Had to run to the boss's office. You missed the mother. Going on holiday is hell for them. Yeah. Wait, where'd we go? I missed. Chat scrolled by too fast. Oh, there we are. Swan Lake lady. You had to run to the boss's office. The mother gave her impact statement and the sister gave an impact statement. 2 very, very different, very, very powerful statements. Yeah, I can't even process that level of trauma. What's up, guys? How you doing? Kaiser Pineapple. You might want to go check out his channel. Great stuff. The Kai's man. Kaiser Pineapple and Chad. BK's a new member. What's up, BK? Glad to have you here as the newest member of the Clean and Sober crew. Welcome. We hope you stick around a while. And I guess while we have this little lull in the conversation, it might be time to make some crass grifting going on here. We got 809 people here on YouTube. We got 966 across the platforms. And 632 likes. I want everybody to get down there and hit that like button. Hit the like button and subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber. It costs nothing. It's free, and you can enjoy trials, court, legal things, maritime stuff, and some good old-fashioned Lego shenanigans, some truck driving simulator shenanigans on the weekends. We have a lot of fun around here. And if you haven't noticed, there's nearly 1,000 people watching, and nobody's being a jackass in chat. Nobody's being disruptive. We have what I can only say is absolutely the greatest chat on the entire internet. The Vice Squad chat is the best. And you know, we like to have fun. We like to push boundaries. We like to get up to hijinks, but we all know where the line is. We have Bush. Yes. Boo says I'm being a jackass. You are a jackass. You're just not acting like one. We love you, Boosh. No, Aaron, I don't want you to be disruptive. I'm praising you guys. Stop it. I'm trying to say good things about you, chat. Anyway, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We have fun around here. And if you have hit the subscribe button previously, just please double check to make sure you're still subscribed. I would love to have your subscription since YouTube decided that they were going to rip 200 of my subscribers over the past 2 weeks. Shame on them. We need to get our numbers back up. We're pushing 100,000. We're like 15,000 away. We can get there. We can get to the 100K. And if you have not hit the like and subscribe button, don't feel bad, but do it now and then take our like and subscribe poll, which is for the last time. What will be the sentence? Oh, never mind.
Given the fact that the victim's daughter is having difficulties.
Is that her, Anna Victoria Torres?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there she goes.
Is that it? Is that who it is? All right, ma'am, good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
This is his daughter.
State and spell your name for the record.
My name is Anna Victoria Torres, ANAVICTORIATORRES.
Thank you, ma'am. I understand that you'd like to provide a statement to the court at this time. You may proceed.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be speaking for myself and my two siblings. The murder of our father has impacted us on so many levels and in different ways. I myself, for the first year, would wake up screaming every morning or night, wishing I was having a nightmare, only to wake up to remember all over again that my father is gone and I'll never be able to hear him say he loves me ever again. To know my siblings have been affected in such a way that they are now different. They have had a piece of their heart ripped away from them, all while her son gets to hear his mother's voice and see her alive is pathetic. Because of you, Sarah, my sister is heartbroken. Because of you, Sarah, my brother is left wondering when he will ever see his father again. The loss of my father has left me with chronic depression and anxiety. Seeing any moments of fatherly love or kindness being shown between others in real life or even on TV leaves me in complete shambles. Seeking therapy was a must in order to navigate through my workday without a random breakdown. Thoughts of my father's demise still enter my mind ever so often. I'm left either angry, sad, or sick to my stomach to think of how his final moments were. George Torres, my incredible father. Not only was he my father, but my best friend. My personal comic provided me with wisdom and knowledge, creative and loving dad, an older brother, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, a son, and above all, our father. He was human and deserved to be treated as such. My father, George Torres, was one of a kind, an absolute gem. Unfortunately, his light was dimmed on earth by evilness, but with us, we will forever make his name live on. Especially Sarah, I pray that you see his face when you see him at night. That is it.
Thank you. Anything further, State?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further of this witness?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. State,
Thank you.
anything further?
Special KL says, why does Sarah get so many people to talk? She can have as many people.
Thank you.
She can have as many
Any
people
other
talk as she
witnesses or
wants.
Evidence at this point in time, State.
No, Your Honor.
All right,
That's
Mr.
all from the
Owens,
state.
You may proceed.
Now you
sir.
get the 4 + 1 from the defense.
Diane Smith.
She can have as many people as she wants, as long as it keeps it reasonable. I guess.
I have no issue with her being at the podium. If you want to move about the well to conduct your examination, that's fine, counselor. Ma'am, come on up. Coming up to this podium right here, ma'am, if you could raise your right hand, Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
He's going to examine the
And could you
witness?
state and spell your name for the record for us?
Interesting.
Diane Smith, D-I-A-N-E-S-M-I-T-H.
Okay, thank you very much. Counselor, you may inquire.
And Ms. Smith, tell the court a little bit about you.
I was a chaplain at the 33rd Street Jail for 30 years.
And have you been a chaplain at the jail here in Orange County?
Yes. Orange County
Oh,
Jail.
she found
For
Jesus.
30 years. Uh-huh.
And during that period of time, did you have occasion to meet with Sarah Boone?
I did.
And was it over the course of how long?
I've known her 4 years.
And if you could, tell the court what you'd like to say.
Okay. Well, I first met Sarah. She came in. We have a Christian dorm, and Sarah enrolled in our Christian program. And she was in my classes for a year. And she was very sincere in her efforts to change her life and to be a better person. And I found her very helpful. She was kind and good to people. She loved to serve. And she helped the new girls that would come in, the younger girls. She would mother them and be very kind and very helpful. And then after she graduated from the program, I was her counselor for the other 3 years. And I always found her, very sincere and, trying to do better. I spoke with many inmates that knew her and was associated with her. And they spoke very highly of her and said that, she was helpful and kind and tried to help other people. And I just found her to be, very sincere and trying to be a very good person and change and help people.
Was the Bible involved at all?
Oh, yes, it was all spiritual. Yes, it was spiritual.
I'm sorry. She killed Jorge. She doesn't get to find Jesus now.
Trying to just be a better person in general. She liked to serve other people, she would help the girls wash their clothes and show them around and teach. But spiritually, she grew very, very great spiritually.
Thank you.
Hang on, ma'am, just 1 second.
Ma'am?
Hang on just 1 second, Ms. Smith. State any questions.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
I'd like to call Christina Pena.
Counselor, thank you. Ma'am,
Yeah.
come on up.
They always find Jesus or Allah once they're facing the rest of their life in prison, don't they?
Ma'am, if you could state and spell your name for the record for us.
Christina Pena, Christina Pena.
You may inquire, sir.
How old are you?
31,
And where do you live?
Orlando.
Now, it's my understanding, Ms. Pena, that you were in the county jail with Sarah Boone.
Yes.
How long were y'all in the same cell together?
Yes, I was in there for 4 years, but we were together for 3.
Is this the one that people are speculating might be her prison wife?
The charges against you were dismissed. And so you were released on what day?
April 4th this year.
2024?
2023.
2023. So you've been out for a pretty while.
I've been out for like 6 or so months now. Yeah,
Yeah.
this year.
That's what I thought, Nancy. People were speculating that she had a prison girlfriend.
You said y'all were bunkmates there together for about 3 years.
Yeah.
I would assume that y'all got to know each other pretty well.
That's what the rumor is. The rumor is they got to know each other real well.
Sarah's one of my best friends, my only.
Take your time.
It's her.
She's helped me a lot. Spiritually and like growing and she helps everybody. She's always.
She didn't help George.
She helped me a lot, and she would come to me. She talked to me all the time and pick me up when I was down, or if I didn't know something. She's good. I don't know. She was a good person to me. Mistakes happen.
Mistakes?
She always helped.
Get the fuck
She's
out.
always helping everybody in the dorm. She even like her artwork. She did art. Anybody need any help or needed anything, they'd come to her and she'd help them. And even if they, did wrong to her, she would still go back and help them and praise with them and pray over them and everything. It's just.
Chad, you're brutal.
Is she a little bit older than you?
Yeah.
How much older is she?
40 in her 40s.
Did you think of her as maybe an aunt or a big sister?
A big sister, yeah. She was like a big sister. Like a sister I never had. Because I have brothers, so I never, we clicked right away. I don't know. We'd be walking out in the backyard and she'd just would always try and talk to me, but I'm a quiet person and I don't trust a lot of people. So for me to open up and trust somebody, it's a lot. So.
And obviously y'all are there under difficult circumstances. And she assists you in getting through that.
Yes, and she helped me a lot with my my case, and I would help her with with hers too. We're both. Justice is not what it is. I don't know how.
Bless you.
We both helped each other out. I don't know.
Ms. Danielle, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any questions, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
Wow. And hey, Kome Gohan has gifted 5 Legal Vices memberships. Thank you so much for that. You get some bells. You get a ship bell for that. Thank you so much. If you got one of those 5 gifted memberships, make sure you give Kome Gohan a super special thanks.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
My name is Mariela Hill, Mariela, last name Hill, Hill.
Thank you. You may proceed, sir.
Ms. Hill, briefly tell us a little bit about yourself.
I met Sarah in jail. I spent 3 months in jail and went through a lot of unfortunate circumstances myself.
All right, now this was in the Orange County Jail here in Orlando?
Orange County Jail.
And when would that have been? Do you recall the date?
Yes, it was April, from April to June of this year.
Of this year,
2024.
2024.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And did you develop a relationship with Sarah Boone over the course of that 3 months?
Yes, yes. We met when I was moved to the B dorm, and I needed help with a form that I needed to complete, and one of the COs pointed to Sarah to help me out. And since that moment, we became really good friends.
Ma'am, I can't think of a worse person to help you with legal documents than Sarah Boone.
So respectful and loving, not just to me, but to everyone. And I have nothing but good things to say about her character, her love.
Get the fuck out. Nothing but good things to say about her and her loving heart.
Deep her faith in God and believing in justice for everyone. That's what I believe.
State any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hill. I appreciate it.
That was
Ms.
stupid.
Albert, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you hear me? This is Judge Kranick. And if you can, I would ask you to turn on your camera and unmute yourself at this time, please.
Sir, how do I unmute turn on my camera? I know how to unmute, but I'm not sure how to turn the camera on.
Turn the volume down.
Right next to the unmute button is a camera button.
When you join the link, there should have been an option for like a pull down on the left-hand side of the screen for you to open out or turn on a camera. I don't know what device you're appearing on, if it's a cell phone or a laptop.
It is an iPhone. Should I try to re-enter the room?
Yeah, try to do that. There should be an option for you to pick a camera. And you'll either select the default
And try to do
camera
it more
or be able
quietly,
to see you
please.
at that time.
Okay, let me just give me 1 second.
All right. Hopefully she'll come in a little quieter next time. Dang, that was a bit loud. Yeah. Okay. So everybody in prison is her buddy. They go to her for. I cannot think of a worse. I said it earlier a few minutes ago. I can't think of a worse person to help you with your legal documents than Sarah Boone. Palmyra Productions dropping the 5 Legal Vices memberships as well. If you get one of these that's coming down the pike, make sure you give Palmyra Productions a super special thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Palmyra Productions. Thank you so much, Kome Gohan, for that. And Wes in Bama says, okay, boomer. Oh, man. So everybody in prison, she found Jesus. She's so nice. She's so loving.
Did that work? Can you see me?
I cannot.
Shoot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's saying default camera. It's saying front camera. I chose it. It didn't show my face or anything like that.
Ha ha.
technological skills are limited. State?
I have no objection to the witness making their statement here telephonically.
Okay, appreciate it. All right.
Canonical heat dropping
Albert, good
10.
afternoon. If you could just state and spell your name.
All right, they're going to let him go.
Certainly. Lana, Lana.
Sorry, her.
Albert, Albert.
They're going to let her testify without face.
I'm going to ask you some questions. And if you could just answer them, ma'am, I would greatly appreciate it. Sir, you can proceed.
Miss Albert, do you have the ability to turn your volume down?
Yes, I just did. I can't hear you very well when I do that, though.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but very, very quietly.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I okay?
Yeah, you sound a lot better. You were too loud earlier.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right, Miss Albert, tell the court a little bit about yourself briefly.
Well, I live in Minnesota. I currently have end-stage renal disease. Before I became disabled, I was a business owner in the Twin Cities here.
All right, and how old are you?
I am 50 years old.
All right, and you're considered disabled?
Yes, I am.
Dude, she just said she's
Have you had an
dying.
occasion since this event to establish a relationship with Sarah Boone?
Yes, I have. We have been friends for the past a little over 11 months.
And how do y'all communicate?
We've communicated a lot of phone calls, lots of tablet back and forth, and a lot of letters as well. I'd say many hours of time spent with each other.
All right. And do you want to speak on her behalf here today?
I would, please.
All right. Would you please tell the court what you would like for the court to know?
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Your Honor, for the privilege of speaking on behalf of my friend Sarah Boone. I also want to extend my heartfelt condolences to everyone here affected by this terrible tragedy, which has brought us all here and listening in. Many articles and videos and opinions of Sarah have gone out in the airways and on the webs. Opinions that have been formed and commented on so much that it's hard not to give into the temptation to treat people like a comic book or a fictional character. In the case of my friend Sarah, the words narcissist, Karen, villain, many other things, they roll off the tongue with little regard to the humanity that is dismissed so flippantly. And under a lot of circumstances, I was one of those people, as I have a love of true crime. And becoming friends with Sarah has shown me that there's a lot more depth to the people I see on the screen. I'd like to share with the world and with the court about the Sarah Boone that I know.
No, tell us.
Sarah Boone is a kind, honest, and good person. The Sarah Boone I know is one who loves animals, especially the kind who are damaged and defenseless. How many of us would take in and pour love for a hearing impaired and a sight impaired pair of dogs?
I've got an
R-worded
R-worded dog.
Reach out and give of herself. Her time and energy and love, especially to those who are hurting or damaged. You all have seen her fight for her own life and truth here. I tell you this, she fights even harder for those she loves, giving time, attention, and companionship without a single thought for her own gain or what.
And she
somebody can do
murders
for
the
her.
one she doesn't like.
And one huge example is in the matter of our friendship. As I said before, I have end-stage renal disease caused by a genetic illness called polycystic kidney disease. As my life has progressed, things I have taken for granted have been taken away from me. I could not appear in court in person because I can no longer walk, as my dialysis treatments have affected the circulation of my legs and has confined me to a wheelchair. To say that my life has radically changed is an understatement. Through it all, I have many friends and family I love and cherish. Sarah has distinguished herself differently in this way. In the course of getting to know her, I started sharing the progressing state of my health. It was like lightning had struck her. The moment Sarah had learned
We should be so
my
lucky
struggles,
if lightning struck her.
she straight up offered strenuously to donate a kidney to me. I got to tell you this. I hope she's not mad for me showing this, but she had no hesitation, no concern over personal risk or personal gain. I want to convey to this. out and around the world that is merely offering is a good and heroic act. I've had many friends. I've not had one outside of my brother who has offered me a kidney. That is huge. I don't have anything of equal value to give to her. And that's not the actions of a narcissist. She did it as a reflex action, as a good person. After the verdict came in October, we spoke that night. And I hope Sarah doesn't get mad at me again for disclosing this, but out of all the shock and seriousness of what had happened in the court, the thing that made her emotionally break was that she realized she could no longer be a donor to me. I mean, I was sitting there like, hey, you know, it's going to be okay. But she was so broken up, she couldn't help me. That's a friend. She is not, nor does she come up anywhere remotely close to being a narcissist. Now, one more thing before I go. Social media has worked to rip the blindfold off of Lady Justice, to take the sword out of her right hand and start assassinating Sarah's character.
Bite me.
However, the scales are the balance. As it says in Psalm 85, mercy and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Justice isn't justice without mercy. Our pursuit of righteousness isn't complete and right without peace. Thank you, Your Honor, for the honor of speaking for my friend Sarah Boone. I hope that your justice is mixed with mercy here today. Thank you.
State, any questions? Any follow-up, Mr. Owens?
No, Judge.
All right.
That was a bit
Thank you.
cringe.
Ms. Albert, I appreciate you.
Like to call Dr. Harper? You want her on the stand?
Now we've got some feedback in court.
On the stand.
On the stand?
No, she can be right now. Yes, sir.
Man, that was rough. I mean, Canonical Heat dropped 10 Legal Vices memberships. We had Lancelot 652 saying, well, it's good to hear that she's popular in prison. She can have plenty of friends when she goes back. Yep.
If you could, Doctor, state and spell your name for the record for us, please.
Dr. Julie Harper, Julieharpe.
And this is Dr. Harper, who testified on Sarah's behalf during the trial.
Dr. Harper, we all know we were here a few weeks back for the trial, and your testimony, so the judge knows quite a bit about your testimony, but if you could, I know that you prepared a report, and we have submitted that to the court, which the court has read, and the state has a copy. And I don't know if you want to refer to that or just speak on.
Sarah has 4 people plus Dr. Harper here.
I think that during trial testimony, I reviewed all of the documents, excuse me, and all of the records that were available. They're documented in my report as well. In addition to the forensic clinical interviews that I conducted, I also have had the opportunity to talk to her brother, Philip Paulson, in the interim since the trial, and I included his information in my report as to her family background.
If you could, give the court a synopsis of what.
Well, you didn't talk to her brother for the 4 years you've been on this thing?
Brother, whatever you think the court needs to hear this relevant material to his decision.
So referring to the summary section of my report, I'll keep it a brief, but I'll outline the highlights that I feel like haven't been conveyed before, which is an understanding of Ms. Boone's early family life, in that she is the middle child of her parents' union, and that her parents did not have a happy marriage. They didn't provide an opportunity to have a good role model as to how to have a partnership together. Ms. Boone was born in close proximity to her youngest brother, 11 months apart. And in my clinical experience and training, I would say that that disrupted her attachment with her mother, some being close in proximity with her younger brother, whose temperament just seemed to suit a relationship with her mother better than her own. So ultimately, Ms. Boone bonded with her father, though he wasn't described by either child as an affectionate person. He was somebody that was there for her at sporting events and more of a primary parent for her in that way. His untimely death by heart attack during her high school years was marked by her brother as a turning point for her in how she was acting at home. Her demeanor, her relationship with her mother took a turn for the worse as she was not coping well. She was using substances based on what her brother was saying. And it is my opinion that that early lack of foundational relations with her mom and not feeling very secure, the death of her father, destabilized her. That's a period of your life when you're leaving high school, when you should have formed a very solid foundation to go out in the world. And I don't think that that's what she had at that moment. She bonded easily with Mr. Boone, and you can see that there are elements of that early difficulty with her relationships because she took on a parentified role, in my opinion, during that relationship. And therefore, there's a power imbalance in that she was making decisions and not, again, having an equal relationship. I think that that led her to a sense of being a need to be right,
A power
need to
imbalance.
feel like she is
Really?
the one that's making good decisions, to have some ego support by being in the right all the time with Mr. Boone. And I think that that led to some behaviors that she carried over into her relationship with Mr. Torres, in that she's parentified around him and acting more like a parent-child relationship, being a facilitator of housing and applications for jobs and
So
things like that.
she
So
essentially
again, there's a
murdered her.
power
That's
imbalance
great.
that I think was very seriously misaligned, as her brother and the property manager of their apartment had verified. They saw her being abused, physically abused in serious ways, or the effects of the abuse in bruising or calls to them. It is my opinion that she called for help, but when people got tired of her not leaving Mr. Torres, they stopped responding to those calls. And basically, Ms. Boone handled things on her own. And as other people with healthier boundaries probably would have left, she
Healthier boundaries.
acting out the pattern of intimate partner violence did not leave. She stayed long past when it would have been smart for others, or others would have said to leave. Sorry. The undergirding of that not leaving the relationship is a long-term anxiety problem that became post-traumatic stress disorder. There is an earlier instance of exposure to traumatic stress in that she was the person in the hospital after her father died who found him having students perform CPR on his dead body. So that was an early exposure to high traumatic stress, witnessing that incident. And based on her brother's description, that was something that changed her. When a person is exposed to numerous compounding stressors, their adrenaline system is changed. It alters your body. And things that might be an otherwise neutral situation, you tend to have a cascading adrenaline response to that. And I think that that ultimately for her, as she succumbed to other instances of serious physical abuse from her partner, became post-traumatic stress disorder. I do think that that is a condition that is still existent even while she's in jail. It's something that she needs treatment for because those triggers are unmitigated, meaning that she hasn't really had the kind of therapy to address them and reduce her adrenaline and anxiety responses when she thinks of past instances of traumatic events that have happened to her. You can also respond to post-traumatic stress disorder clinically by using antidepressant therapy, and that would be something that could assist her ultimately in reducing symptoms if she had counseling and antidepressant therapy.
Now, Dr. Harper, I know that you testified in the trial that, in your opinion, she suffered as a bad spouse. syndrome that is legally recognized in Florida, in the courts of Florida.
That's correct.
And I understand that is tied to this intimate partner violence, which is maybe the same thing, but there's a complex mental health issue that ties into that. Can you speak on the complexity of that whole cycle that one such as Sarah Boone and George Torres were involved in?
Certainly. So intimate partner violence is not a diagnosis. It's a pattern of events that occur between two partners in which the power dynamic is altered by the physical abuse or behaviors that are controlling in nature to the point that someone's safety is threatened. It's common for victims of that to have a complex mental health condition, often including depression, anxiety, and substance abuse problems. And what might be substance abuse to cope with the problem,
come on.
numbing
Was she the
oneself,
parent or was she the
symptoms
victim of a horrible relationship?
diagnosis. The pattern of intimate partner violence, I think we covered in the trial, but just in summary about that, there are phases in which at first bonding of the two partners might be something positive. They've got something in common or have pleasurable time together. And then the secondary phase of that is when there is change in dynamic and some kind of traumatic event occurs, some instance of physical violence. And then there's a third phase in which it's like a honeymoon phase where they're trying to right the relationship. So in phase one, when they're having something pleasurable, the tone shifts. Phase two, there is some kind of incident. And phase three, there's a honeymoon phase. As that pertains to anxiety, I think that a person who suffers from intimate partner violence never stops experiencing that hypervigilance, waiting for the next instance of violence to occur. So even though they may look happy, they might be experiencing something positive, they've not really relaxed because their memory that could or will occur again is still in their mind. So they haven't fully stopped experiencing intimate partner violence. It's just what phase of the process they're in.
Now, and Dr. Harper, it goes into more detail in your report, which I supplied to the court, which is a total of 11 pages, and I believe that's confidential.
That's what's been marked. I don't believe it's been filed in the court file.
Okay.
If it has, that's something if it needs to be, it's something we can address. I have reviewed it. It does reflect confidential and privileged information on the first page. I don't believe it's been filed in the court file unless you did it. Okay.
It wasn't compelling during the trial and it's laughable now.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, sir.
And Dr. Harper, you're aware that the defense has filed a defense motion for downward departure.
Yes.
And we've listed several factors under paragraph 3, the capacity of the defendant to appreciate the criminal nature of her actions and conform with the requirements of law or substantially impaired, that she requires specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is not related to substance use or addiction, although you agree that she does suffer from alcohol use disorder.
So she has an underlying mental health disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yet,
and
Kelly,
I additionally
yet.
diagnosed her with alcohol use disorder, which is separate.
But you agree she does require specialized treatment for a mental disorder that's not related to the substance use or addiction?
That's correct.
And you agree she's amenable for treatment?
Yes.
And you would agree that she acted under extreme duress in this unique homicide case?
Yes.
It's not a homicide case. It's a murder case, buddy.
Uniqueness of the circumstances, the facts and circumstances surrounding the case, that the offense was committed in an unsophisticated manner.
Yes.
And it was isolated.
That's my understanding as well. That
Other than she had the charge where both of them were charged at one time, and I think she had the strangulation allegation, the felony case that was ultimately dismissed when both of them were arrested.
she had a prior felony case. Facts are different.
Don't bring up prior felonies, counselor. It doesn't help. Don't mention she had a previous felony case for strangulation.
To say if I missed anything, of course. Okay, and it's not in the report.
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes, may she take the stand so I can be quoted?
Yes, that's fine.
We got some questions. The prosecutor has some questions for her. This should be interesting. Get him. Oh, let me move myself here.
Pages 1 and 2 of your report, you go through the sources of your information, correct? Yes. And that would include 8 interviews that you had with her from the course of August of 2020 through September of 2024, correct?
There were 9 interviews, but 8 dates of service are listed.
You did the Miller Forensic Assessment of Symptoms Test, or MFAST.
That's right.
Inventory of Legal Knowledge, ILK.
That's right.
Clinician Administered PTSD Scale 5 examination.
Yes.
You consulted with her attorney.
Yes.
Videotaped interviews from this court case number of Sarah Boone, interview part 1 and 2, Abraham Moreno interview, Brandon Moats interview, Brian Boone interview, Juan Torres interview, and Melissa Sexton interview, correct?
Yes.
You reviewed the autopsy photos?
Yes.
You reviewed some of the digital forensic exhibits, including the Apple iPhone XS and a Samsung SMJ 327 T1 photographs from those 2 devices.
Yes.
You reviewed Bates stamped discovery pages 1 through 413.
That's correct.
The crime scene photos are photos of scene taken on June 19th of 2020.
Yes.
Aspire Health records.
Yes.
And who do those pertain to?
Aspire Health records are for Sarah Boone.
Florida Hospital Medical Group records.
Yes.
And who do those records pertain to?
That is also for Sarah Boone.
And Aspire, is that a mental health treatment facility?
It has an emergency department record, but that would be the place where she was detained under the Baker Act.
And it is routine and common in the practice of forensic psychology or psychiatry to rely on the records of other such practitioners.
As a source of information, sure.
You reviewed the deposition of Dr. Tanya Warner.
I did.
You reviewed the trial testimony of Sarah Boone, Brian Boone, Dr. Michael Brannon, Dr. Tanya Werner, correct?
Yes.
The jury verdict form dated 10/25/24.
Yes.
Witness list notice of filing amended.
Yes.
On this case. Records of Jorge Torres or George Torres involving case numbers 2019 MM 5114, a 911 call and PDF, case 2019 MM 7193, case 2019 MM 7193, Torres Public Records, case 2019 MM 7193, Torres Photos, Central Florida Primary Care Records, Advent Health Orlando Medical Records, correct?
Yes.
And those latter records that I just mentioned, those for Mr. Torres and not Ms. Boone, correct?
That's right.
Then you reviewed Sarah Boone written correspondence, Sarah's listing of domestic violence incidents, Sarah's writings regarding missing days of work and Baker Act, and a 74-page life story.
That's right.
And then case 2018 CF 10573, public records and photos.
Yes.
And a telephone interview with Melissa Sexton.
I'm wondering where he's going with all this. He's reading off all these things that she's looked at and reviewed.
And a telephonic.
He's gonna deliver a crushing question at some point.
On November 26, 2024.
Yes.
Where has Ms. Boone been housed and living since February of 2020?
At the Orange County Jail.
And does the Orange County Jail provide mental health services to inmates?
There we go.
It does.
And you already testified you would routinely, as a forensic psychologist, review records kept of a psychological or psychiatric treatment of a patient or a client, correct?
Yes.
In this particular case, have you reviewed any mental health records generated by the Orange County Jail for Ms. Boone?
No, I have not had the opportunity to do that.
So for the last 58 months or so, if she was being seen by the mental health treatment staff at the jail, you have not reviewed those records.
That's correct.
There we go. Boom.
They are overseen at the jail, in the Orange County Jail, by a psychiatrist. Are you aware or not?
If the person's level of mental health intervention deems them eligible for psychiatry, then they will.
and any diagnosis or lack of diagnosis that they have had during the course of the last 58 months, you are unaware of.
You have no clue.
That's right.
You have no clue what she's been doing for the last 58 months.
No.
That was it.
All right, thank you.
That was it.
One question. Dr. Harper, I didn't ask you to review those records, did I?
No.
Why didn't you ask her to review those records? That was the boom question
Judge, I
right there.
believe,
You have no
I believe you
clue what
said it
she's
at the
been
very
doing
beginning
mentally for the last
that,
5
I had
years.
submitted several letters on behalf of Ms. Boone, and she didn't hear that, but I wanted her to be made aware.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you don't actually read those letters into the record, but you did read them.
I have reviewed them. They're in my binder here. How many do I have? Yes. Give me a second. I can tell you. I have I have 6 handwritten letters. First one is 1 page. Second one is 2 pages. Third one is 1 page. Fourth one is 2 pages. Fifth one is 2 pages. Sixth one is 2 pages. I have a typed letter from Diane Smith, the assistant chaplain. I have another typed letter from a Nicole Ray, a typed letter from a Stephanie L., a typed letter from Philip Paulson, a email from Lana Albert, 2 pages in length, and a 2-page email from a Danielle Parsons.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I would like to call Sarah Boone.
You may proceed.
This is it.
Yes, please.
This is her last chance to explain why she should get a light sentence. Oh, she's not shackled, but she's still chained up and.
Ms. Boone, you can be seated. You've been previously sworn.
This should be good. Jesus.
The main choir, sir.
Let's see the self-awareness we see here.
Sarah Boone.
Now, this is unlike a trial, so you're allowed to speak in a narrative form, as well as I understand you have taken some notes or written a letter that you want to read from, and then you want to speak to the court after that.
No, our last Sarah Boone letter.
Why don't you go ahead and get started?
This is actually an edited version of.
We don't care. She's looking upset.
I had a lot to say. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper. And I didn't know how much I could say or how little I should say. So what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial. And
Well,
on top of what I have on
enlighten us.
paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to address everyone in my
He just said you can do that. Get
top
on
of
with
my
it.
statement.
Apology. And on my apology. All right, it should be good. Sorry for murder.
Sukiroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness.
No.
It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history.
So murdering your boyfriend makes you better.
Because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu Sukiroi. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres,
the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy,
The damage caused by your
defamation,
victim,
ongoing constitutional
Sarah,
right
don't
to
do
speak
this.
violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pro se. Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable. Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache, irreparable cracks on top of the already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter, as the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward. My goal begins with George Torres, and every time he slapped me, kicked, punched, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to
Sarah,
end
this is
me,
the
did me
opposite of
George's
what you're
joy.
supposed to be doing.
I forgive George for beating me senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day, for ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together, for wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over, for breaking or removing the locks from all of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf
Continue,
dogs by
Sarah.
breaking the gate open I built
Have
to
at
keep
it.
them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me, for threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the times their father beat their mother, for all of the drunken rages and fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped, for drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, then butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black
You know,
eyes
the
and a
judge is
bloody
like, okay, I was going to give this sentence, but
making me
fuck, he's
experience
scratching it
what
out and
it
he's
is to be
rewriting
sodomized.
the sentencing right
Threatening
now.
to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece, for threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job, for holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck,
I'm officially
my phone in his
changing my
crotch, and a
vote from
butcher
40
knife
years
stuck
to
in the
life.
middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave, for stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested.
This is the anti please have mercy
For
on me
destroying my
speech.
phone with a hammer because my son called, for me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison, for beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe, for having me experience what it means to see stars like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. For taking my car driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his batterers intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him. For causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity.
Oh, Jesus.
For murderer Scarlet Letter, not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed. or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying.
Oh my God, stop forgiving the person you've been convicted of murdering.
To end me with his terrifying love. I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help. All of his siblings, including Pharrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of their head.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive them for caring too late. I hope they all ask
This is the worst statement I have ever heard.
What could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all the time Sarah tried to, by asking for help from all of us and so many times. Another great contributor of my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain from my criminal case as a whole, and for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance.
Thank you for the advantageous gain you've given me, Sarah Boone. I appreciate it. I forgive you.
Which condemned me in the court of global public opinion
No, I don't.
since the beginning. My family law case is the new prey waiting to be picked apart and pillaged from me being made infamous by social media in my criminal case. It simply seems I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward. Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies, making and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes. It's all over their hands and their keyboards. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed in my case, still no one knows me.
Oh no.
In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, for being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse. I forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son.
Honest to God, this is the worst. This is the worst statement I have ever heard a convicted person give to try to mitigate their sentence.
I think about this every day since.
This is the worst.
Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least,
Holy
while I was
shit.
constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before.
This is way worse than Daryl Brooks.
I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster.
This is way worse
and
than
no
Daryl
matter
Brooks,
how
and that's
grotesque
saying a
he
lot.
may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs.
Now you just made
Unfortunately,
crack.
Not all cracks can be. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am. And
You ain't going to heaven, bitch.
Loving him. In all of it and still.
You ain't going to heaven.
When I first came to jail, I put my mat under my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters apologizing for asking for their forgiveness. But due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom any
Chat,
of their grief.
you're not liking this, are you?
Please forgive me. Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound especially every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I
Keep
didn't
talking.
mean for this to happen.
Keep talking.
Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge Cranick. To the entire planet, please forgive me.
Nope.
I graciously and humbly ask for consideration, for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me please to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long, for second chances, repentance, and redemption, to advocate for all domestic violence survivors, to help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always, to make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and the inside, to help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others, to stop the abuse and maltreatment before it's too late. There is always hope, and you can survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this: would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year, if it were I who died? How many daughters, mothers, sisters,
What the
aunts,
fuck are you
grandmothers,
talking
nieces, and
about?
friends have been because they did? I am a survivor. Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke oppressors, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17, all-encompassing, protect the abused.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
Now, gathering your thoughts, did you want to make
What
an oral
the
statement?
fuck is that?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My statement, my verbal statement, is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters. I know you all know who I really am, and that I did care for George, and that I do still love George. I know you know that we had very many good days, and I take offense to the statement of being said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment. But the moments before that, in order for me to be here, is endless. It's everlasting. The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed, except for my stab wound. But this has changed me as a person.
Your stab
to
wound's healed. I don't
see things differently and to understand things differently and to not be weak and just try to protect yourself, and forever, regardless of the time that I may receive from today, I forever will have this experience. I forever will have George Torres with me in my heart, in my mind, my body, and my soul. As he and I used to say that we were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a moment. It may be for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever. When you all leave, that this is forever. This is forever for everyone here, and
I hope your prison
those who
sentence
it
is
matters to
forever.
most. I am one of those who will experience this forever. I'm sorry. Words do not define my shame, and I don't know what else it is that I can say. And
You've said
convey
enough.
to the Torres
Keep going.
family how this happened, the ifs and whys and how really don't matter. It happened, and I'm sorry. Words cannot describe. And I hope that everyone can forgive me, the Torres family most of all, and his daughters, because I know what he meant to them And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him. And I ask for forgiveness.
Ms. Boone, I have just one or two questions, if you don't mind. And you can speak on it if you want or not. But this is a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that when you were brought up as a child, that you did have some spirituality in your family, some church, some religion.
Always.
But I understand that you got away from that. Did you have a chance during the 4.5 years to look back at your spirituality?
Absolutely. You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest. If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord. And I, being here incarcerated, have had time, of course, to get closer to God, to reacquaint myself to him and realize what it's all about. This is all temporary. And when I say temporary, I don't mean by being set free in jail or from prison or wherever else. It means being set free and temporary, meaning that you work for something higher. You work for God, that you strive for your crown to be placed upon your head by Jesus Christ by being said, "You have done well, my good and faithful servant." I've always tried to be a good and faithful servant. I was just a servant as opposed to doing all that I can when my family were alive and I was going through everything up to this point. I've become so much more closer to the Lord, and it's made me such a better person. And I hope that I am an example going forward of the Lord's light and can draw many people to me because of it.
Any follow-up, State?
No, I assumed that was the final word.
Thank you. She can
Everything
return back
that
to
guy
counsel
just
table.
says bullshit.
Anything else from your side of the ledger, Mr. Owens?
No more witnesses, Judge, just arguments.
Okay. Anything else in rebuttal, or just proceed to argument, State?
Just proceed to argument.
Okay. All right. Once Ms. Booth's seated, you can proceed with your argument, either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
Wow.
You may proceed, sir.
That was honestly the worst.
I'm going to start my argument by what I anticipate Mr. Owens will bring up in his presentation regarding the plea offer in this case. That she was offered the resolution in this case of 15 years in the Department of Corrections to begin with. I think it's important, though, that the entire circumstance of that plea offer is put forward. And there's something very critical to that. It's not just 15 years in the Department of Corrections. It's 15 years in the Department of Corrections, but it's predicated on something. And the consideration that it's predicated on is the defendant coming to court and accepting responsibility for her actions. For her coming to court and saying, I am responsible for George Torres's death, and I accept the punishment that comes with it. That consideration was never given in this case. And because that consideration was never given in this case, the offer of 15 years in no way represents what this case is worth, or what George Torres's life is worth. That is an offer predicated on a particular circumstance, a circumstance of a first-time defendant accepting responsibility and giving every benefit of the doubt and coming to court and in saying that they are ready to be punished. Those conditions were never met. So then we turn to this case, and we turn to this crime, and we turn to the actions of the defendant of taking the law into her own hands in murdering George Torres. She has never shown remorse for that. She didn't show remorse for that here today. She again painted herself as the victim. She's the victim of George Torres. She recounted the litany of evil deeds and mistreatments that he perpetrated upon her. She's the victim of...
And I will read all of these super chats. I promise.
Victim of police.
After this is over.
Victim of social media. It's all about Sarah Boone. Everything's about Sarah Boone, about how she is the victim. Sarah Boone sentenced every one of George Torres's loved ones to a life sentence. Just like she sentenced George Torres.
He's recommending life.
In that suitcase.
He's going to ask the judge for life.
George Torres lived out his last nightmarish circumstance in that suitcase, begging to be let out for several minutes, which undercuts any argument that this was somehow unsophisticated. There was ample time and opportunity over and over for her to do something different, but she went forward with taking the law into her own hands and ensuring that George Torres was never getting out of there, while she went up to bed and went to sleep for hours on end. She can't say that she was in duress for the same reason. She was in such duress of George Torres that she goes upstairs and goes to sleep for 11 hours. Your Honor, there's been nothing from the testimony of Dr. Harper either that establishes any type of diagnosis that would give this court a basis to downward depart. Dr. Harper has put blinders on to the fact that she has been incarcerated for 58 months. 58 months with the opportunity to receive mental health treatment, and the expert witness is absolutely incurious about what any of those records or diagnosis or anything that would have been there would have said. There is no valid basis for a downward departure in this case. She deserves a life sentence. Thank you.
Mr. Owens, response?
Let's hear it, counselor. This is your big chance to undo whatever the hell that was she just did to herself.
Just credit. First off, I want to thank you for taking the time to hear our side, hear the witnesses, and review the letters on Sarah Boone's behalf. You know, we've all been here for this trial. We've all been here for other trials. We've all got some age on us. We've all got some life experience on us. And this is a unique case.
No, it's not.
A unique homicide.
No, it's, well,
Yeah.
perhaps unique in its method.
And as we all know, a lot of these cases are not black and white. They're shades of gray. And these crimes don't occur in a vacuum. That there's generally a history, especially involving a domestic couple.
Don't do
A
it.
history that comes into play.
Don't make her the
That must
victim
be
in your
explored.
statement, counselor.
And a lot of what Sarah Boone testified to here today probably happened behind closed doors. And we all know that many times we do not know what happens behind closed doors between a man and a woman in their home, unless there is some reason for the neighbors or law enforcement or somebody else to get involved.
Law enforcement was involved quite a damn
That
bit.
happened in this case. And so gradually over time, as this event occurred, there was an investigation, and it was learned that there was a history of domestic violence involving these two parties. And what we learned was that physically there was violence, and there were photographs to establish that, as were introduced in the trial. And then there was testimony from experts, not only the defense expert, Dr. Harper, that Sarah Boone was the victim, and she was a victim of intimate partner violence, but coupled with the fact that the state's expert testified on the stand at the trial that Sarah Boone was a victim of intimate partner violence, that she suffered from this domestic or this battered spouse syndrome as the hands of George Torres. So there's two sides to it. And in a domestic violence situation like that, 95% of the women get out of that relationship. When violence starts to occur, they've either been raised a certain way, they have a certain self-esteem about themselves where they refuse to put up with it, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that they can do better. But there is a small percentage throughout the country that, for whatever reason, mental health issues, addiction issues, whatever it is, it's complex. Financial reasons, children are involved, whatever. If you do any studying on it, there are circumstances where there is a group of women, predominantly women, it can happen to men, but majority of the time it's a woman that gets caught in this cycle of what we term as intimate partner violence. And court heard the testimony about the cycle that occurs. It's over a period of time and it repeats itself, and you go through these phases. And a lot of times the victim's not a great historian at trying to articulate it. She tried to do it here today. And I think on Sarah Boone's behalf, she is a unique individual. She's got the personality.
I'll give her that. She is unique.
No, you heard from Dr. Harper that a lot of that was formulated based on the way her mother did not bond with her, the way that her father was the way that he was, the fact that she lost several relatives at a young age, and the trauma that can result. We heard from Dr. Harper that she did suffer from post-traumatic stress as it relates to that trauma in early childhood, and then again as it relates to the events that occurred between Mr. Torres and her. So it's complicated, Judge. It's complicated, but the jury has spoken. Sarah Boone was entitled under Florida law to present that defense, and she did. That testimony was allowed to be presented. She was allowed to testify. But the jury spoke.
Yeah, they did.
So here we are today with you in a position to decide what is justice for Sarah Boone. And I don't know you that much other than our time together, but from what I know you try to do the right thing. And that's what we're asking the court to do.
And he's about to drop a shit ton of right thing on her.
To have some understanding of the unique situation that Sarah Boone found herself in. And quite frankly, Judge, this all didn't occur behind closed doors.
You just said it
A
did.
lot of this was in the public eye.
You just said it took place behind.
Mr. Torres had, I believe, 3 criminal cases before the courts of this county in which Sarah Boone was a victim. Mr. Torres was the accused. Those cases were dismissed. We know from the history of this domestic violence field that that's normal, that Sarah Boone every time either tried to bond him out or tried to get the case dismissed. At some point, somebody has to stop. Somebody has to say, wait.
You stop, wait.
What's going on here? This keeps repeating. It's going to get worse. Something's going to happen. The system failed, Sarah Boone. I'd ask for you to consider that. Circumstances surrounding that failure and what led us here today. I've asked the court to consider a downward departure. I believe you've gotten a copy of the score sheet.
Not since before trial. Is the score sheet stipulated to?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, you may approach.
Oh,
thank you.
Judge, I was provided that here today, and I believe, I can't remember the total number of months that it involves, but divided by 12, I think it's 20 months. 20.6 is the low end of the guidelines or something about.
It's 246.0 months based on the score sheet.
I did the calculation, but I believe that the low end is 20 years. I'm sorry, 20 years, 20.6 years state prison, I believe is the low end.
20.5. Yes, sir.
As the court knows, I believe it's on page 3. There are some aggravators that the court can consider.
the sentencing report recommended 20 years.
That the court can consider in downward departing, meaning going lesser than the low end of the guidelines. And in the defendant's motion for downward departure, we mentioned, and I had Dr. Harper testify about 2 or 3 of the grounds, and the court needs to only find one to go below the guidelines. The capacity of the defendant to appreciate the criminal nature of her actions and to conform said actions to the requirements of the law were substantially impaired. Judge, I don't have to reiterate the facts and circumstances surrounding this event. You were here, you heard the testimony, you heard the circumstances surrounding what happened and how it happened. I would ask that you consider that as a mitigator. To D, the defendant requires specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is not related to substance abuse or addiction and is amenable to treatment. I think it's fair to say here that we know that Sarah suffers from some mental health issues, objective mental health issues that have been opined by Dr. Harper and Dr. Werner. And you heard Dr. Harper testify about the borderline post-traumatic stress disorder that she suffers from as it relates to this event, as it relates to her trauma that occurred in childhood. I think we heard from Dr. Werner. Dr. Werner testified that she suffered from the alcohol abuse disorder, as did Dr. Harper, but Dr. Werner also mentioned that she was not sure about the anxiety disorder, whether it occurred prior to or because she was in the jail for the 4.5 years. However, she does require specialized treatment for the mental disorder, and she is amenable for treatment. And then third, the defendant acted under extreme duress, I think based on Sarah Boone's mindset as she testified to her today, and then you heard from the experts at the trial that when you get that anxious about what happens, Sarah testified about they would have good days where there would be no drinking or very little drinking, and then there would be other days where there was heavy drinking. And generally when George Torres got highly intoxicated is when potentially things could get violent, and that she was constantly anxious about each day that she was with him. She loved him. Obviously, being in a cycle like that where you love someone but can't leave them, For whatever reason, George Torres couldn't leave Sarah Boone, and Sarah Boone couldn't leave George Torres, and it was a vicious cycle. But we believe that she qualifies under that it was under extreme duress at the time of this event. And lastly, the defense was committed in an unsophisticated manner, which was an isolated incident. Now, isolated, we know, Judge, that she had one prior event in which both of them were arrested. You heard her testimony that it was during an event. They ended up downstairs next to the washer and dryer, and that she was on the bottom, and she had used her hands to try to get him off, and she had tried to choke him, and there were some marks on him. And she was arrested for domestic, I think, felony domestic violence battery, as well as he was arrested. I think a few days later, both of those.
And then she made him make the hostage video.
But she has no criminal conviction record. She has never been convicted of a crime other than that event. Now, I think that can be distinguished. So we believe that it was an unsophisticated manner. Obviously, the uniqueness of this event is unsophisticated. Anybody that would calculate that they were going to murder somebody by putting them in a suitcase and let them spend the night, and the next morning, not try to dispose of the body, not try to put the suitcase in a car and go dump the body, not try to dispose of the bat, do something. She did nothing. No attempts to tamper with evidence. No attempts after the fact to uncover any conduct whatsoever. No attempts to delete the videos from her phone. Here's my phone, voluntarily given that information. I think that goes to the unsophisticated manner and unintentional death that occurred. I remember the first time I saw the suitcase video. And I know people have differing opinions. Tony Henderson, my colleague, had a different opinion when he saw it. But I remember the first time I saw the video and I heard what she was saying to him. When he was saying, "Hey, Sarah, let me out. I can't breathe," or words to that effect. And the way that she was talking to him and the statements that she gave him, in my mind, what has he done to her? What has he done to her? Any loved one you see in a situation like that is going to run and let them out. So my thought was, obviously, they were both drinking. But what has he done to her? And I think it's telling about what she'd endured. So it's not a clear-cut case, Judge. It's not black and white. There is some gray. And it's up to you to decide what's appropriate based on the court's, based on the jury's decision. But I would ask you to temper whatever justice that you think is appropriate with some mercy, and consider the fact
all the
that
mercy
state
she
was
showed
willing to offer
George.
15 years on a manslaughter as a lesser included offense, based on the facts and circumstances that they were aware of prior to this trial. Thank you.
Thank you. Any rebuttal by the state?
All right, here we go. He's gonna mention her statement. He's gonna mention that bullshit statement she just
presented at trial. The victim impact statements presented here today. The statements of character witnesses, both orally and in writing. Dr. Harper's report and testimony. The defendant's testimony. Pre-sentencing investigation. The arguments of the state and the arguments of the defense. Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life.
Boom!
In the Department of Corrections.
Life.
With credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
No opposition, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you could please give us the credit time served and the court costs, please.
4 years, 9 months, and 8 days. $15, a state prosecution fee of $100, a dirt fee of $50, and a fee of,
I'm right.
so the total would be, will come up to $618.
All right, ma'am, the court costs and costs of prosecution are $618. Those will be liquidated to a civil judgment. You will be given credit time served of 4 years, 9 months, and 8 days. You will have 30 days from today to appeal the judgment and sentence in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. I'm going to have the courtroom deputy provide you the paperwork. Because you've been incarcerated for the last 58 some odd months, the court is going to declare that you are indigent in this matter. I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you as they are conflicted out. Similarly, I cannot appoint the regional conflict counsel to represent you for the same reasons. The clerk will appoint an attorney from the conflict wheel who specializes in appellate litigation. And again, you'll have 30 days from today to appeal that judgment and sentence in writing. Do you have any questions for me? You will now be remanded into the custody of the Orange County Jail to transfer you to the Department of Corrections, and I wish you the best of luck. State, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further? All right. Thank you all very much. Court's off the record.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Sarah Boone sentenced to life in prison. I got to run a quick search here. What does life mean in Florida? What is the minimum amount of time to serve under a life sentence in Florida? All right, I'm dragging up a Florida statute here. Let's see what this says. Person who's been convicted case. This isn't a capital case. For a life felony committed after a term of imprisonment for life, or by a term not exceeding 40 years. Life. I'm gonna have to ask the Gauze on this. I'll have to ask Steve Gosney, and we'll get back to you on this to see what the minimum required time is under Florida law. So I'm thinking it's 40 year, like life is 40 years before you're eligible for parole. I'm thinking it's 40 years, but
she's on her way.
Life sentence typically means life without possibility of parole. However, there are nuances depending on specific circumstances. Huh. Yep, it's going to require Gauze. Under Florida, it seems that life means life without parole. Generally, under current Florida law, a life sentence is served in full without parole. All right, so it looks like life without parole is that's what I'm going to go with until someone that actually is a see what Peter Trago says, or Steve Gosney, if we can get him. The actual Florida people, we'll see what they say, but it seems like it is life without parole. Dang. Yeah. If he wasn't inclined to give her that at the beginning, I'm sure he was after after he heard that ridiculous statement. Wow. Geez. Let's see. I'm going back here to we got some chats to get through. Chat, you did not like this woman. You did not like her statement. We've got to. I'm going back here to see how far we have to go back in the stacks to. I guess here we did. Okay, Bama, we did that. We did that. Okay, I think this is where we left off here. Island with the $2. When all your character witnesses are criminals. Yeah. Criminals or randos in where was it, Wisconsin or wherever the hell the other prison pen pal lady was from. Yeah. And Jenny LJ dropped 5 Legal Vices memberships. Thank you so much for that. Island again with the $2. Hands up if you had trauma and never offed anyone. Saw a lot of hands go up. My hand is up. I haven't offed anybody yet. Dang. And Jenny LJ dropped 5 more gifted memberships. Thank you again, Jenny. That is super awesome of you. Appreciate that. Jennifer, so life it is. Yep. And that was back when we were just listening to her talk. And I mean, honest to God, I know I said this while she was doing it. That was the single worst statement I have ever in my entire life heard a defendant give in an effort to try to mitigate their damages. That was the worst statement. Holy crap. John Gordon with the $2. Me, Sarah can't make this worse. Sarah ... Yeah, she if he wasn't already inclined to give her life, that would have pushed him over the edge. And Sonny A. Chris with the $5. After all we watched leading up to this moment, did we expect anything else? I didn't expect her to go that hard on It's Everybody's Fault. I did not expect her to go. I expected her to say something dumb, but not quite that stupid. That was bad. Life according to Martin, 3 hours later. Yeah, the defense did go on a little bit. Tanny Simmons with the $10. Absolute yikes. I keep switching to something else because I'm dying of secondhand embarrassment. Oh, man. Don't switch, Tammy. it was too good to miss. And John Gordon again with $2. Missed opportunity not having Sarah bingo for this. Dude, if I had put up a bingo card for this, ain't none of what we saw was going to be on that bingo. That would have been beyond my bingo card conception to put everything she just said on there. Holy cow. Boosh McFadden dropping the 5. So she forgave you, Jeff. So here's some more blood money. She's the real victim here. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah, for forgiving me for profiting off your dumbassery. You just made it so easy. You just made it so easy. Tanny Simmons, again with the $5 to the Torres family. I know you know who I really am. Yeah, I'm sure Satan came to mind. Yeah, you're the one that murdered George. We know who you are. And Les Wag constantly with the 5 pounds, with the 5 pounds of the great British pound sterling, constantly looking down or away, can't look anyone in the eye, lies. All lies. Yeah. Jeez. Tanny Simmons dropping the $5 more. Shouldn't she be drawing people to the Lord and not herself? Worst evangelist ever. Yeah. I'm thinking, Jesus, he's like, keep my name out your mouth, please. Jeez. Canonical Heat dropping the 10. All hail Judge Lawrax, manipulator of courts. That's me manipulating public opinion. And Katzlever became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. And I understand, according to what the tubes is telling me, that we'll get to that in just a second, later down here. But thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Hope you'll stick around. Appreciate the support. Canonical Heat dropping $10 more. Also, this is the edited, shortened version. Oh, yeah, she said this was the heavily edited version. She just wanted to hit the main points. Good God, can you imagine if she would have read that entire thing? Digger, thanks for being here. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was the shortened version. T42 member for 7 months. Thank you so much for supporting for 7 months. T for 2. Michael Martin with the $5. I sentenced her to life in prison to be confined to the suitcase for the rest of her natural life. Yeah, but just put some air holes in it so that she can at least breathe and, stick around for a while. Come go on, gifted 5 Legal Vices memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Cat Silver with the Swedish Krona 20 super sticker. Thank you so much for the sexy Swedish money. And I understand from what the tubes is telling me that is your first. That's your first sticker, super sticker on a chat. It says, thank you very much if I was the first person. And Duncan, Idaho, I just got to her speech about repairing pottery with gold. This is brilliant. Life with no parole. Well, looks like that's what she got. Your wish has been fulfilled. A little bit sleepy. Man, thank you for being a member for 8 months. Your support is deeply, deeply appreciated. We watched her murder George. She is not the victim here. Yeah, and the judge just told her that in a harsh, harsh way. Good for him. And Tanny Simmons again with the $5. If she could have manipulated Brian, I believe 100% she would have canceled that body. Yeah, I think that's why she called him before the cops. Help me with this problem. I firmly believe that. And Comey going again, gifted 5 more Legal Vices memberships. That is so cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And Voodoo Berries, good morning. Bet she wishes she took the plea. Oh, hell yeah. She gave 7 years more in prison. She gave that up for life. Angel Australia, member for 14 months. Hey, Vices, will you be Boone's pen pal? Nope. No, thanks. I'll take the hard pass on that. All right. Wow, people, that is it. We got down to the end here. 660 people are still here after watching that. Good grief. So your poll. Now's we got 790 likes. Let's get us up to 800 likes. 10 more likes. Come on. And a bunch of more subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you have, double check to make sure you're still subscribed. That would make me happy. We have our last like and subscribe poll for Sarah Boone. What will be the sentence? 13% of you said 40 to 50, 21% of you said 22 to 30, 22% of you said 30 to life. Oh, hang on. I just push a pause real quick. I will be right back. I have lost a strawberry and I hear garbage. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I apologize for this. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I thought I heard strawberry rooting through the garbage, but nope. I'm sorry for thinking you did bad. I don't know where she was just wandering around the halls. Okay. I thought she was in the garbage can, but no, she was just wandering around. She had enough of Sarah's crap, so she just needed to take 10. She just needed to walk away. She's back now. All right. Where were we? Yes, we had finished the super chats and all the others. Guys, thank you so much. Again, 13% of you said 40 to 50 years. 21% of you said 22 to 30 years. 30 to 40 years said 22% of you. And 44% of you were correct with life. I was expecting around 40, but when she gave that horrifically bad plea for mercy, I changed to life. And I'm sure, judging from the chat, I saw many of you were like, can we change our vote? Can we have a new poll? I think the vast majority of you would have gone to life after hearing her talk like that. My gosh, that was bad. Yeah. After her speech, everybody wanted to change it to life. She needs to find. Oh, she found God. She didn't. That was what all of her impact statements. She's found Jesus. She's a sweet spirit. She's helping other people. She's, I hate to tell you this, but part of it's the repentance process. She seems to have skipped the repentance process. And Kome Goen has just gifted another 10 Legal Vices memberships. Good grief! Thank you so much for that. And all of you, there was just an attempt to paint the chat green. There have been so many gifted memberships and purchased memberships today that I can't list off everybody and who you should be thanking. But if you got one of these Legal Vices gifted memberships today, please just give a general thanks to the gifters for being so super awesome. And we will be having a members only stream coming up in the next week or two. So stay tuned for that, where we just sit and chill. I turn it over to you. We let the members guide the conversation, ask questions, bring up subjects. We just talk about everything. It's just a chill stream. Man. So we got what we expected. I was not expecting that that last statement from Sarah. Man. Whew. Well, we Boosh says 607 watching, 809 likes. Legal Vices baller. Yeah, we've got 845 watching now across YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter. We had like 1,200 at one. I think 1,200 was the max we had at one point. But this has been amazing, guys. Thank you for sticking with me through this entire Sarah Boone trial. It's now 6 a.m. here. Probably no chance of me getting any more sleep before I go off to work. But I got a good 5 hours, 6 hours before 3 a.m. happened. Gosh, are we happy with the verdict? Do we feel like she got what was coming to her? I think so. People probably left to go throw up after listening to Boone, right? Now we do have, even though the judge just said, yeah, denied. I'm curious. I have not, I've read bits and pieces of the motion for a new trial. And it was basically, the part I read anyway was Georgia's mother cried during the suitcase video. There was more to it than that. The judge, and the state, I haven't seen the state's reply, but the judge said, yeah, denied. Ain't even going to consider it. Well, he considered it, but it wasn't worth discussing, I guess I should say. Yes, but what about the inevitable appeal? The appeals wouldn't be streamed anyway. She automatically gets an appeal when there's a life sentence. Most jurisdictions will have an automatic appeal for a life sentence. And that's what he's saying. We'll find someone to appoint you from your indigent. We'll find someone to appoint you to do it. Man. But spoiler alert, any appeal's gonna fail. She ain't getting out. Yeah, that the appeal is just going to be something you Florida taxpayers are going to have to chip in for. And they said the costs of the trial, she has to pay the costs of the trial, $14, something like that. I guarantee you, it cost way more than $614 of taxpayer money to bring this to trial after 5 damn years. Jeez. I bet she's fired by her appeal attorney. Will she get 30-year hearing like Susan Smith? It sounds like life without parole. He said life, and from what I've been able to really quickly garner and glean from the interwebs, a life sentence in Florida means life without parole. And I'll check with Peter Tragos and Steve Gosney just to make sure that life means life. It seems like that's the case. Oh man, that's a good outcome. That's satisfactory. But all right, so I'm going to wrap this up here in just a few minutes. Uncivil law. This was the greatest sentencing I have ever seen. Welcome, Kurt. Yeah. I was just saying that I'm 55 years old. I've been doing the law thing for just about 30, and her statement was absolutely the worst statement I have ever seen from someone wanting to have mercy. That was the worst mitigating speech I have ever seen in my life. It was glorious. It's going to be up in there in the Hall of Fame for the worst ways possible to try to get mercy. Jeez. You guys were so super cool and so super generous with all this today. One thing we need to do is, those of you that know, we unlock the emotional support potato pig dogs at the base level, but also we have the second tier, which is the punishment shot for me holding the emotional support potato pig dogs behind a paywall, which I just don't do. It's an achievement you unlock. I don't hold them behind paywalls, but you guys think I do. So you make me do the punishment shot at the second level. The third tier, we do an absinthe shot. The second tier shot is a shot of really, really bad whiskey as I clear off the bad whiskey from my shelf. The third tier is a shot of absinthe. We got to the fourth tier, which I don't even know what that is. We just the fourth tier happens so often, so infrequently that I don't know what it is. But because I have to work in like 3 hours, we can't do the punishment shot or the reward shot. We'll do that during the next stream on Tuesday morning US time. So I'll do the makeup. I'll do the makeup shots, but we can't do them now because I have work in a couple of hours. Was the judge intending life, or did her speech do it? I think he was probably intending life from the beginning, but if he wasn't, he certainly was going to give her life after that statement she gave, the no remorse statement. So people remind me, I doubt I'll forget, but remind me that I owe you the punishment shot and the reward shot and something else at the next stream. And speaking of the next stream, we need to yeah, the Boone Tang is gone. The Boone Tang cocktail, the Boone Tang suitcase cocktail is done. It's over. So here's what's coming up. Now that we've completed the Leilani Simon trial and sentencing. Now that we've completed Sarah Boone and sentencing, we need to cleanse our palate of these murderesses and move on to regular stuff again. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a palate cleanser for a couple of days. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be watching courtroom shenanigans, body cam footage, whatnot. And to do that, I'm soliciting from you guys to email me the weirdest, most bizarre courtroom outbursts, judge anger things, police body cam footage. Send it to, email me a link to thelegalvices@gmail.com, and we'll call through there and we'll play those over the next couple of days. Just if you have any, I mean, I have some that I can go through, but I want to see the crazy ones that I might not be aware of. Send those to me by email, thelegalvices@gmail.com. And I got one yesterday that it's 20 minutes long, but I will say it may be the weirdest body cam footage I have ever seen. So please send me your recommendations for things to watch at thelegalvices@gmail.com. And I'm thinking Sarah's statement was so weird and so bad, we might just have to revisit that as well as part of our bizarre courtroom happenings. So let's send me those. We'll do that for 2 days. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll do the courtroom and body cam footage reactions. We'll do that. Then Thursday, we will start our new retro trial. For those of you who don't know, every Thursday, traditionally, we do a retro trial from an older, significant case. We have our next one lined up. I'll announce that on Wednesday. We'll steal that on Thursday. And Friday is still up in the air. We could go through the motion for a new trial and the state's response for Sarah Boone, or we could go to the the Clayton Eckert, Laura Owens case. We're going to get back into that next week, if not Friday. We might just start on Friday, give you a bit of a review. We've got the judge has issued her judgment. We covered that, but it's been so long. We'll review the judgment. We will review the appeal filed by David Gingras, Laura Owens' lawyer, which I'm sure is a great thing. I haven't read it yet. It said it was 64 pages long. Gosh, there's been bar complaints made against Laura Owens' lawyer, one of them by the judge. If a judge files a bar complaint against you, that's kind of something special. There's been 3 bar complaints filed. One was quickly dismissed. 2 are still pending, as far as I know, the judges and one of her previous, I will say alleged victims, just for reasons. But yeah, we'll get that, and there's a whole bunch to do with that. We'll be talking more about the Judge DeThomas's situation, who was the judge in the What the Hales case and the Florida Gosney case, not Steve Gosney, another Gosney family, acting absolutely the same. The judge is unique. The judge has problems. We'll be talking more about his all the motions that are being filed and how he's reacting to those. And we're back to normal again. I don't foresee covering another trial for a very, very long time. So we've got back to normal. We got some Johnny Somali stuff that I can finally talk about. If you don't know him, just give him a quick Google. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. And there, as I've mentioned before, there won't be any Effort Friday here in December. We didn't do one in November. We're not going to do one in December because it's Christmas and money's tight for people. And I don't feel good about a griftathon, grifting, trying to take as much money from you as possible at the Christmas season. So there won't be any Effort Friday December either. We'll pick that up though hardcore in January. So, don't worry about that. Ellie Fan, how you doing, Ellie Fan? It's been a minute. Member for 17 months, longer than 17 months. Sarah locked her sentence in a suitcase. She's got life. Duncan Idaho, the $5. I'm sorry for being such a great person. I'm sorry for caring too much. I'm sorry for how much everyone hurt me. Yeah, that's where she went. Jeremy's deposition in the federal case was today. And see, we won't get to see the depositions in the federal case, if ever, for a very long time. And I look, the What the Hales thing is very, very divisive in the community. So I just need to make my normal disclaimer with that. I don't care about the interpersonal BS between the factions in that. I focus exclusively on the court submissions, what has been submitted in court, what's been entered into evidence, how the judges handle these things. I don't care about the day-to-day bullshit that goes on with the Clayton Eckert, Laura Owen stuff, or the What the Hell stuff. The drama channels can handle that. I just look at the court stuff. That's what fascinates me. Sarah Boone forgives me. Thank you, JKD. But yes, it made me a little bit more peaceful knowing that Sarah Boone forgives me personally. All right. Don't forget you wanted to stream with Flux, some kind of game. Oh, Red Dead Redemption. That's, Flux has got to set that up. That's kind of what we do on the weekends. If there's time, I got to get through this Lego build. I got to get through finishing Sauron's Tower of Barad-dûr so that we can make way for the next Lego build, which will be on Maritime Monday. We'll explain all of that if you're not aware in due course. Right. I think that's just about it, people. We are at the end. Give me some time to play with the dogs, get ready for work, and head out the door. I want to give an absolute heartfelt thank you to everyone who is part of not only the Sarah Boone trial, but also the Leilani Simon trial, and specifically to everybody that was here today. You guys are amazing. Legal Vices, what's for breakfast? I don't know. Probably ham and eggs or steak and eggs, something like that. Mods, you done good. Thank you very much for being here. Chat, super, super generous today. Bottom of my heart, seriously, I'm so grateful, so thankful to each and every one of you for the super chats. We gifted 50 we gifted and purchased 54 memberships today. We're banishing the gray from chat. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the super chats, the super stickers, the Cash App, the Venmo. Thank you for all of that. And thank you for you that were just here chatting along, keeping us company, taking care of each other, having the best time you possibly could given the circumstances today. Everybody, each and every one of you, my super special thanks. Yes, Elephant Maudie Christmas. We are having a super Maudie Christmas, our very Maudie Christmas. I haven't set the exact date yet. My calendar on my computer is hiding behind my camera. Let's see. I haven't set a date, but I'm just kind of glancing at the calendar here. Probably sometime in the week running up to Christmas, somewhere between the 15th and the 21st. Might be Friday the 20th. That's just kind of what's going on right here in my head. Probably could be Friday the 20th. Friday evening would be a good time for all the mods to be around. So I'm thinking about it, but sometime probably Friday evening US time on the 20th. That's what I'm going to target for. And that's where y'all get to meet the mods that want to come on and hang out with us. The very best thing to come out of this case was Jeff's song. Aw, well, thanks. It's there on my channel. You can find it in the video section, not the live, in the video section of the stream. You can hear the Suitcase of Love anytime you want. That's it. We're done. I'm going to send you off into the wild. Y'all take care of yourself. It's been a good night. It's been a good time. Thank you, everybody. We will catch you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Eastern with some body cam footage and courtroom shenanigans. Again, please send me your links to videos you would like me to watch and react to at thelegalvices@gmail.com. The link is down there in the description. The email address is down there in the description as well. Send them to me. Let's see what we can get through. All right, everybody, take care and have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. From me and the dogs, Yoda and Strawberry. What's up, Strawberry? Good night. Bye.